Welcome to the January 10th edition of Gridlife Digest, the weekly culture and gaming podcast, and the only show I can think of where if you say our name 3 times in a row whilst playing Pubga, you are guaranteed to be killed immediately. On that end, go check out twitch.tv/snowbikemike for some of the most entertaining streaming content available right now. My name is Noah Friskop, and joining me is a full house today, the MILF man, Micah Benfett.
Yo, what's up? Let's do this.
At Shaw Doggy, Eli Shaw.
It's your boy.
Dad Max Meyer.
What's up?
Future Keeper of the Holocron, Emma Myers.
What's up, guys?
And the one and only Plat Matt Kunklinski.
Hello.
Every Wednesday, each of us chooses a topic for conversation, and we recommend a piece of media for the group and audience to check out. You can get this show on iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube every Wednesday, and be sure to check out gridlifedigest.com to see all the content in one single place. While you are at it, follow us on all of our social media platforms, at Gridlife Digest on Twitter, and at Gridlife Digest Pod on Facebook and Instagram, so you never miss what's happening. So here is our first batch of announcements for 2018. New year, new goals. I hope you enjoyed the holidays. We are now back from our break, ready to hit the ground running with new content for the year. Our upload schedule is expanding. The goal right now is to drop a piece of short-form video content on our YouTube channel, as well as the podcast still going up every Wednesday. If schedules permit, we would also love to stream at least once a week, if possible. Schedules are hard. And if you're watching this on YouTube and all went to plan, you will have noticed the new video version aesthetic that I have been wanting to make for a long time, but was unable to because of hard drive space. So in addition to the new aesthetic, topics will be put up individually based on who presented them on the YouTube channel. So if Eli, for example, had a particularly poignant topic, you'll be able to listen to it on its own and easily share it. They will be uploaded after the main episode because I hold to the belief that long form is the ideal way to consume the show, but it's an option for those short on time. Either way, we appreciate it for you giving us a listen, giving us your feedback, and also expect at least one piece of written content on the website if that's your thing. I want to turn the best articles into videos for the YouTube channel. So just before we get into it, I just want to know how were you guys' winter breaks? Did you do anything fun? Have any cool experiences, Max?
I mean, I don't really have a break. I had like a week off of work. That was it.
Okay.
He's old.
Breaks, man.
Yeah, he's an old ass, grown ass man.
He's the dad.
So Micah had a significant break. What did you do? Do anything fun?
Yeah. I had a lot of time off. I had a whole 3 weeks off. I'm still off even like tomorrow, which is Monday. I have that off too, and then I resume work on Tuesday. But yeah, I did quite a bit actually. I guess the highlight was going to out in the mountains or out near this town called Leavenworth. It is a German-themed town. Well, the term is Bavarian. I don't know what that stands for. Do you know what it is? What it's for, Max?
Yeah, it's a region in Germany. It's where Munich is.
I have friends there.
That's like the main
Cool.
city in Bavaria.
Yeah, but anyways, there it's all German themed or Bavarian themes. So like everywhere you look is that font, the Wolfenstein 2 font, as I like to call it.
Like how why is that a thing? Like I didn't that was very unexpected. I would not have think to see that up there, but I mean, good for them.
Yeah, I mean it's I swear it looks exactly like it, but. And then they have all these shops everywhere. Like this one place had all sorts of hats you could wear, like German themed as per se. It was more like, oh, here's a bunch of funny hats you can put on. Here's a fedora. All these weird looking hats.
Here's a fedora.
But anyways, yeah, I was kind of tempted to pick one up, but then I saw how much what they were, like, $20, and no, thank you. But anyways, before I went, my aunt told me, she said, don't try on the hats. A lot of people are trying them on, so there might be lice in them. So I was like, no, thank you. I'm not trying to get lice right now. And
maybe later.
No, maybe later. Not right now.
Not right now.
Not right now. Yeah, in the future, maybe. But maybe from a dog, preferably my dog. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, not down. And then it was just really beautiful scenery up there. Like there was the mountains like in the background, and like there to each side there was the themed buildings, and then you could just see the mountains in the background. It was so beautiful, like just snow everywhere. And oh man, it was a really fun time. And then we stayed out at this cabin, like it was like 20 minutes outside of town, and it was this small cabin. Like it was insanely small, tight and cramped, and there's 7 of us in my family, and we were all staying in there. But it was 3 levels, and even then, but it's like, you know, one of those like tiny little buildings in Fortnite, you know,
Oh yeah.
the little ones. It was kind of like that, and then like the stairs were super steep, so if you weren't careful, you could just fall all the way down. And yeah, overall, it was a really good time. I recommend checking it out if you live in Washington or even close to Washington, because I hear people all across the United States actually come all the way out for Leavenworth to come check it out. And I tried some sausage there. I don't know what it was called, but yeah, some good old sausages.
Those German sausages.
Yep. It was pepper flavored, so nice and peppery. And that's pretty much all I did. I mean, besides that, I hung out with family the whole time. And it seemed like my whole family got sick except for me. So I just have that really good immune system. But yeah, that's pretty much all I did.
Vitamin D.
All that vitamin D. Vitamin D and German sausages.
Gotta keep up with it.
Also,
protein and vitamin D.
If you really like that Wolfenstein font, designed by humans.com/Gridlife Digest, you can get a shirt with our logo on it in that font. Shameless plug.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't exactly the Wolfenstein font, but like in my head, that's what it was.
Oh,
yeah,
so,
basically.
Oh, so I was picturing like literally they had the Wolfenstein font. I was like, that's a little weird.
No, I was just being a little ridiculous.
Okay.
But
all right.
In my head, that's what I saw.
I'm going to keep imagining that, though.
Okay. It's more interesting if you keep on imagining it.
Exactly.
So.
Like, is there a Mecha Hitler around the corner, too? Like, that's a little
I was hoping, because I was just all Germaned out before going. Like, I was playing Wolfenstein 2 before I left. And then when I was staying at the cabin, I watched Inglourious Bastards. I mean, it's not really German. It's just more Nazis.
Killing Nazis.
Yeah. That's pretty much the whole theme to my break. It was just killing Nazis.
That's a damn way
small
good
Germantown.
Damn good way to spend Christmas. Killing Nazis.
Yeah.
They must be destroyed.
The one group of people that deserve to not live.
Yep. Just unanimously. We can all agree on that, I hope.
Yep.
Yeah.
How about you, Matt? You have a good break? Do anything fun?
Yeah.
Get any trophies?
It was all right. Not as many trophies as I wish I could have gone, because my friends keep dragging me to go hiking with them.
You can say no.
Oh man, exercise! My God.
Oh man,
Yeah.
socializing.
Yeah, so tomorrow I have the whole day off, and my plan is just stay inside and play more LA Noire, because I'm trying to get the platinum in that. And yeah, I'm just trying to chill, man.
I respect that. Yeah, I wish I had friends that would tell me to go hiking, because maybe then I would go hiking. But I just want them to invite me so then I can say no, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's fun.
hiking is fun, but
no doubt.
I need to play more games, man, before school starts again.
Yeah, school, the imminent
Screw social
game
life.
killer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just totally lost my train of thought. Emma, what did you do on your break?
Well, I had a pretty long one too. So mine was about 3 weeks, like Micah, and I really didn't do anything. Like aside from going to my grandparents' house, like over Christmas, like all I did was stay at home and I played like hella games. So
Sounds fantastic.
pretty much as good as a break as any, I guess you could say.
Absolutely.
That sounds like a great break.
All right, so Max is a grown ass man, so didn't have a break. How about you, Eli? Did you do anything?
So I went to Oregon for a few days in between finals. So I guess that's kind of where I start my break. That was pretty fun. I saw Star Wars there at this like pretty cool theater that was like similar to how the Alamo is
Very nice.
here. Yeah, so saw Star Wars like opening day with a bunch of nerds, and you know, you can hear all about that in the spoiler cast. Wink.
Available now.
available now. And then Christmas, stuff like that. Just chilling. I've been working a bit, but got to make that money.
Got to pay them bills. Unfortunately,
Didn't minimum wage go up there too in California, or is it still the same?
In most places it did on the 1st, but in San Francisco it's not until July.
Oh damn!
got to make a little bit more money so you can
months.
buy all that weed that's now legal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I bought weed before it was legal.
Yeah, because all you had to do is get a medical card, right? Like, oh, my arm hurts. Give me a card.
Yeah.
I have a
One day I'll
mild
tell you how
headache.
easy it is.
Okay.
Once it's fully
I heard
legal
it's
in
pretty simple.
SF, and it's probably cheaper too. So I pretty much spent my break being sick. Unfortunately,
Damn.
I'm
Same,
still sick.
honestly.
Coughing. Went in, spent $120 on a doctor visit for them to tell me like, we can't do anything for you. Here's some antibiotics. Get out of our office right now.
So, did you not have your insurance, or did it not cover it, or what's
I am
that?
currently uninsured. I need to get that fixed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sucks. Okay.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah, it's thanks. Well, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I did that. Played a bunch of games, worked a bunch. Unfortunately, but made that money.
Pizza's gotta be made.
Pizza's got to be made, regardless of season. Made some good money on that one. Like I said, played a bunch of games. Tried to go for my first platinum just last week.
Ooh.
It didn't work out because fuck Konami once again. Fuck Konami.
Yeah, fuck 'em.
I tried to platinum Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. I was like, you know what? I love this game. I need to give it. It's the trophy list is like really easy. At least I thought before actually trying to do it. It's really easy. I'm gonna, this is gonna be my one like tribute to the series that I love so dearly. And so a couple of very long nights later, I beat the game on the second playthrough. And 2 very important trophies don't pop, even though I have never been more sure of anything in my life than I have in regards to this. Like, I got all of the things that you need to get for these, and they didn't pop. So I'm just like, you know what? This is just confirmation that I shouldn't be a trophy hunter, and that's not for me, because it just completely skewed my perception of this game. And this is something I actually want to write about. So look for an article on the site this week talking about just my experience with this whole I don't even know what to call it, because like half of it was really fun, and then there was just severe disappointment. So I'm stuck at like 78% on this fucking trophy list, and that's like further than I've ever gotten on any game. It's like
So
literally,
heartbreaking.
yeah. A couple of the ones I missed were my fault, and those could be easily mopped up. So I'm not really going to worry about it too much. But man, it's specifically you had to capture all of the different bird species, and there's only like 5, and I absolutely did it because there's only 5. So like, how can you miss them? And then also honestly the most difficult one in the entire game, which was basically collect every type of animal and plant, which basically you just rob Soviet Russia of all of its wildlife as you go along, and like it just didn't pop. So I'm
Kill everything in sight.
quite well. You can capture them
So
too.
is that
like,
what
you
Metal
keep-
Gear is about?
Basically,
Like what is Solid Snake a scientist? Is he a botanist or something?
that's what it felt like. So like you go through like your normal run, you're like this really awesome secret agent. You go through this like completionist run. You feel like an ecologist, like a biologist. Like you're collecting samples of plants and like taking live samples of animals and like just gathering all of these things. It's like it just has a totally different feel to the game that just was strange. And like, oh, every so often you'll sneak by a guard or fight an enemy, but most of the time you're just going to be scavenging for mushrooms. Yeah, it was very strange. It definitely made me see the game in a different light. Naked Snake, the biologist. But yeah, spent the break sick, played some games, worked. That's pretty much it.
Fun. Big boss, the biologist.
Big boss
That's
biologist.
That has a
Yeah.
better ring to it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Big biologist.
the big biologist.
Yeah, yeah.
Just an overweight biologist.
Just got the eye patch on.
It's
He's
Steve
like,
Harvey, of course.
Yeah. Morbidly obese. Biologist.
Yeah, it's like I usually burn
not a
off all my
problem.
calories by crouch walking around enemy soldiers, but now I just shoot animals and do mushrooms all day. That's pretty much
Just
the
trip it out.
tripping out. Yeah,
Oh,
man,
God.
I just totally lost my train of thought completely. But anyway, winter break. We're coming in 2018 strong.
Yep.
So now we're gonna move on
are.
to what is the meat of this episode, episode 20.
The meat
We're going to
and
talk
potatoes.
about the meat and potatoes, as it were. We're going to talk about our favorite games from the year 2017. We're going to go through our top 5 lists. We get 3 honorable mentions to start. I hope you guys have all pulled your lists up so you can easily refer to them. We're going to go in alphabetical order just to make it easy, just to make it so we don't have to choose randomly or whatever. So, Eli, what were your top
There you go.
5 games of 2017?
So we're starting with top 5, not honorable mentions.
So you can start with, well, what do you want to do? You want to start with honorable mentions and then go 5 to 1?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Sure.
So, my honorable mentions got a shout out to Resident Evil 7.
Hell yeah.
I played a few hours of that. I didn't finish it, but I played it in VR, and
Oh, damn.
It wasn't-
I'm jealous.
it wasn't really spooky. It was just like, okay, it was spooky, but it wasn't like scary. And it was fun. Like I was share playing, like so my friend could watch me, and he was like he was making it less scary because there's like someone else is there watching. So that was fun. That was just a good experience. This is for my dude Max over there. Destiny 2. Big shout out. I was so excited for this game all year. Like even playing Destiny 1, they released stuff earlier in the year, and I was like, I just want to play Destiny 2 right now. What are you doing? Played the heck out of that. Met some cool guys to do the raid. So shout out to my raid group. All around the U.S. and Canada. And it was just a good time. I played with a lot of friends I played Destiny 1 with, and it was cool, like reconnecting with them and playing another game with them. I did drop off after like a month, and I haven't even played the new DLC, but I'm not saying it's bad. I just haven't picked it up. I've been busy. Last honorable mention is Stardew Valley on the Switch. I give it an honorable mention because, yeah, it did come out last year on the PC and everything, but it's perfect on the Switch. Like, if I'm not as into it as I was last year, but if you're my friend on Nintendo, whatever it's called, on the Switch, it shows that I played Stardew Valley for like 200 hours or something. That was all my mom. So I gotta give a shout out to them for making my mom like a real hardcore gamer. I gotta give them to that. Stardew Valley, if you guys haven't played it, you gotta. And now it's on the Switch, so you can play it anywhere. All right, into the real list. Number 5, Injustice 2.
Yeah, boy.
Ooh, boy. Injustice 1 is probably my... Okay, before Injustice 2, Injustice 1 was my favorite fighting game, period. I bought that multiple times, especially when the PS4 version came out. Like, you get all the DLC characters, HD, up res HD. What's the? I don't know what
it was already HD, but like it was crisper HD. So HD
Yeah.
Injustice. So
Exactly.
So many more Ds.
It's another D in there somewhere. So Injustice 2, I totally forgot that came out this year, but I remember last summer, just when they dropped the first trailer, just watching that like 5 times in a row. Just I couldn't believe the way they were showing like the progression of like what the games were. It showed like Flash and Batman and Superman like fighting each other and stuff, and then after they would like beat each other, they'd armor up, and I was like, what the fuck does this mean?
What's armor up mean?
Yeah, like can you armor up in the middle of a game? And why does the Flash have armor? Like I'm not a fan, but whatever. And then we find out there's customization in this. Like you can like loot boxes, but done okay. Like you get quite a few loot boxes for just playing the game, and you don't need like it's mostly aesthetic when you play against other people, but against the computer it does add a little bonus here and there. And you know, I just fell in love. Like a fighting game with loot boxes, who would have known that would be such a great combo?
They're mother boxes.
Yeah, mother box. All right, yeah, it's not even part of the whole loot box like
I mean,
craze.
They're absolutely loot boxes, but it actually makes sense in that context, I guess. They took advantage and made them actually relevant to DC.
That's true. And you know, superheroes always have different costumes, so it's like more opportunities to have different costumes. So gotta love on that. And then all the characters they added on, Red Hood, Hellboy, Atom, and then Ninja Turtles later.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, Injustice 2. What a game. Very fun. Check out me and Noah's Battle Royale tournament between each other.
We got a rematch sometime, because I'm out for blood. I haven't played it in nearly long enough. All right.
So that's number 5. Number 4... That's how we're doing this, right? I'm going through my entire list.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Number 4 is Horizon Zero Dawn. Is it lower on my list than a lot of people have it on theirs? Maybe. I don't know. But it wasn't. I'm not gonna. This doesn't take away from it at all. Like it's still an amazing game, but like, that would have probably pushed it at my number 1. I gotta credit Witcher 3 for kind of dampening my enjoyment of Horizon, because I just wish it was so much deeper, like because The Witcher is so deep. Anyway, Witcher 3, game of the year many years ago. So Horizon, just it's such a beautiful game. Like
That's for sure.
Not even visually, just like playing it, the way it feels is like, oh, this is perfect. This is how I want to play games, like open world games. I want to run around and slide around and jump. And while I'm jumping, hey, maybe I want to slow-mo while I'm shooting stuff. And just the amount of detail that Guerrilla put in this, and it's Guerrilla, which it blows my mind. Like I've been playing I played the original Killzone, and Killzone 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. And then they make this, and it's like, all right, it's not Killzone, but you got me. You got me hooked. And I'll never forget watching, I think it's just I don't know, I was scrolling through Kotaku, and there's like, you know how they have like the GIFs for the thumbnails or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like, watch what Aloy does when you spin around on the horse, and like she spins around on the horse. It's probably a better headline than that. But so like, yeah, when you're sitting on the horse or the mount or whatever, and you like spin the camera around, like not only does her head go around, but her body will shift and like her legs will move around. So if you're facing the opposite way of the mount, like she'll be sitting on it backwards. And I was like, all right, you got me. That's fucking cool. That's cool as hell. And I immediately turned the PlayStation on and did it myself. I was like, yep, checks out.
Seems legit.
Yeah. And just shooting robot dinosaurs, it's as fun as it sounds.
So what are the name for the robot dinosaurs? What do they call them again?
Yeah,
Do we know?
Machines, I thought.
Just machines. Okay, that makes it easy. make up some weird like name that sounds like it came out of the Hobbit or something.
Yeah, I mean they all have their own individual names.
Yeah, they
As
usually
a collective. I think they're just machines.
Yeah,
Sweet.
they talk to them like by their type, which kind of makes sense. Like we don't label animals like when
Just
you're talking
animal.
about just animal. We say cat or we say whatever else.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Sweet.
yeah.
Yeah, and I like the tribally setting of it and the way they named this stuff, like based on like low intelligent like naming, I guess. Reminded me of what's the word? What's the thing? Land Before Time. So shout out to that too.
That's a connection I did not make, but you got it. Yeah, you pretty
Tall
much nailed
necks,
it.
long necks.
Yeah.
Someone
Basically the same
watched
thing.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone has seen Land
close
Before
enough.
Time before. At some
So
point.
is this like the number one dinosaur game of 2017, or would you have to put Mario above that? Like that's the ultimate question here.
If we're just ranking dinosaur game, like based on how good of them are they at being dinosaur games, Horizon's probably up there.
Okay, yeah, the best dinosaur game of 2017.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, guys.
the most diverse dinosaur game of 2017. 'Cause Mario
Oh yeah, they don't just
yeah,
got
word for it.
T-Rexes.
Yep.
They cover all the bases, and there's actual animals like bulls and whatever else, big birds. Just a giant Sesame Street
Fuck
big bird.
Stormbirds.
Yeah, dude, fuck storm. Yeah, those things suck. Anyway, continue.
All right. Number 3 is Uncharted Lost Legacy. And I'm counting this as a full game because that's how I play. That's like how I saw it.
That's how they marketed
It
it.
definitely is.
Yeah.
I mean, it is like
So-
8 hours. So
Right. And I think it deserves to be on Game of the Year because, first off, it's Uncharted. Can't go wrong. And it's all the mechanics from Uncharted 4, which were buttery smooth. A little bit more rope than I would have liked, but whatever.
Too much rope.
Yeah, that's a personal hang up. But Uncharted Lost Legacy really fleshed out the Uncharted world because it's like, all right, Nate does meet all these thieves along the way, but what do they do? Like, how big is this thieving ring? You know? And so we get to learn more about Chloe, who was in Uncharted 2, and let me tell you, Chloe was my girl. So glad I got to play as her. Nadine, still not a fan, but whatever. She was a good supporting character. The story was all right. Not the best Uncharted story, but I just got to give it to the whole. It's more Uncharted, and they do more than just here's a story in the Uncharted universe, and it plays like Uncharted. They added that Chapter 4, man. Chapter 4 in the little open world village. They didn't have to do it, but they did it, and it was amazing. Like it was optional to do everything, but they really made you want to because the puzzles in this game are top notch. Shout out to the axe puzzle. I'll never forget you.
Puzzles.
Matt, not a fan of puzzles over here.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know, like for the Uncharted ones, like I just like search them up on YouTube sometimes because I'm just like I don't feel like thinking. I just want to play the game, but that's just
Breaks
me.
up the flow. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Because there's that same puzzle in Uncharted 3 where I look it up every time on YouTube. I go through that game. I don't
stupid
know.
shadow one.
Yeah, that one's a pain in the ass. And then there's another one where I don't know what it is, but you just pull the damn lever to like move this square thing around, and it's like, oh wow, you got to put it on this.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't like those
Exactly.
puzzles. Those are not even puzzles.
Yeah, those aren't. It's just like, oh, fuck up until I get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like my least favorite thing about Uncharted is the puzzles, but
Yeah, that's for sure.
pretty good.
Yeah, the puzzles do kind of break the flow, especially when you fuck up, and it's like one where you'll die if you fuck up. Then
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, all right, that was kind of immersion breaking, but whatever. Just to do it better, I guess. So number 2, another game that might be a hot take for 2017, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Not a hot
I don't
take.
think that's a hot
Not
take.
not a hot take at all. It's fantastic.
Not a hot take,
No.
but like, is it a 2017 game? That's why I hear a lot of
Yes.
concerns.
I'm gonna.
I think it is because I think when this game came out on Switch, this is when most of the people actually played this game. You know,
Right.
I never played it on Wii U. Like I'm sure a lot of you other people didn't either. So I consider it definitely a 2017 game.
Okay, and they did make changes to it a little bit.
Yeah,
2 items.
up the resolution, all that.
Battle mode's fixed.
Yeah, battle mode, and then didn't they add like that third purple boost when you drift?
Yes. Yeah.
That's a game changer.
They added a lot of great stuff. Like they made it the Double Dash sequel that we deserve, and
Damn.
they fixed the battle mode. So yeah, it's practically might as well be a new game. I'd say.
Exactly. And Mario Kart 8 is just, well, especially this one. I didn't play the original on the Wii U, so the deluxe Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is, in my opinion, the best Mario Kart ever made. It's a
agree
perfect
with that,
game.
too.
Absolutely.
I could play it for hours and hours. That's probably the game I played the most over this break, just because I was with family a lot. So it was like bust out Mario Kart, play with my mom, play with my sister, play with my cousins, whatever. And I'm still surprised every time I finish a race and it's like, you got this many coins, you unlocked this. I was like, what the fuck? I have like 10,000 coins. How am I still unlocking stuff?
That's for sure.
So it's cool, and my only issue with this game is I wish there was more to it, and I wish they would like release more in the future. But I know this is it, and if they're gonna do any more Mario Kart, it'll be a whole new game. But like, I just want more of this game, and it's definitely the best co-op experiences I've had, multiplayer experience I've had all year. And it's not just like co-op, like 2-player, like multiplayer in person or over online, because like you just hook up 6, whatever, how many switches you can have, and it's a party. It's a party.
it's a
This is a
Mario
real
party.
Mario party. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Local and multiplayer, like that was also my like by far the most fun I've had playing with other people this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Fantastic.
I feel like everyone can get competitive with it. You know, it's not like with Call of Duty or another game where, like, if you suck, you're just gonna keep on sucking unless if you put in the hours. With Mario Kart, you can pick it up real quick and like, oh, I'm actually beating you now. You know, whereas before I was getting my ass kicked. Like I'm halfway decent at this game. That's what I love about it. So pick up and play for anyone, even like little kids who don't even understand it. Like
Yeah,
just got it down.
You give them the tilt mode, and then they just go like this with their hands, and then they run into the sides, and then the auto steer, like it can
That
be,
works too. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot that was a thing because I turned it off immediately. But yeah, it's very approachable. It's
Very.
probably the best use of the Switch as a multiplayer device, at least so far.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's crazy that you can just like set it up anywhere with a few other people and then just start playing with each other. Like that's like the promise of the Switch, and they delivered like right off the bat with Mario Kart.
The
Absolutely.
ultimate convenience.
Oh yeah, play on the rooftop. You know,
We were all
I totally could do that.
we were
Play
all
anywhere.
we were all Karen at some point in this year with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Very much.
all right, and that leaves the number 1 spot.
Bow bow bow.
Damn.
Didn't
Drum
play
roll.
some of the top games of the year, but I did play this one, Super Mario Odyssey.
Wahoo!
Damn.
And Wahoo! Wah 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 wah! Ah, wah 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 wah! Waluigi. You do get a
So
Waluigi hat. Spoilers. and
Spoiler that. Hey,
I
was
wear it all the time.
I was just about to get the hat. Like, come on. Spoilers.
Damn it.
You weren't good enough. You weren't fast enough.
No, I wasn't. I'm way behind.
It was so Super Mario Odyssey. When I got it and I put it in the Switch, I didn't even bother turning it on in bed or anything. I waited until the morning. I was at my mom's house getting the Switch back from her because she was playing Stardew Valley. So I waited and I plugged it into the TV. And this was like the third time I plugged it in to the dock. And let me tell you, it was great. Seeing Mario on a TV, like a big living room TV, 3D Mario. I haven't seen that since Mario Galaxy. And right off the bat, you're in that like graveyard kingdom or whatever. And then it's like, all right, what's going on? Whatever. And then they throw you right into Cascade Kingdom and you're a T-Rex. And I was expecting that like 10 hours in, at least.
They give it to you twice. They give it to you twice right off the bat, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can go back, be a T-Rex whenever you want. And it's just like I really don't care much for Mario. Like the last 3D Mario game I played was, well, I guess I played the 3DS one, but can you count that? Do you count that as like one of the mainline 3D Marios?
No, not in the tentpole. They're kind of their own thing. The 3D Land and World series, yeah, they're kind of a mid-step.
So besides that, the last one I played was Galaxy 1, and it's been a long time. And that
came out a good decade ago.
Oh yeah,
2007.
2007.
Yeah. I rented that from a Blockbuster.
For what, like $3?
No, I got that Game Pass. You know.
Okay.
So I haven't played a 3D Mario in forever, and this was, or just really a Mario game in general. And I just shouldn't like this game as much as I do, but it was just nonstop fun. And I was bringing my Switch to work and playing Mario on my lunch break, and just trying to collect moons. That's when I would just sit in a world and collect moons and not necessarily like try to progress. And that's how you know like the game, especially an open world game, is like just really good, is when you just want to like collect things and like you want to do the optional stuff. Even when, like you're really not making a dent. It's like, there's a moon over there, whatever, I'll figure it out. I have like 10 minutes. And every different world, every different kingdom just like stuck out to me as a new, it felt like a new game every kingdom I went to. Yeah, shout out to that dragon that you fight, that Bowser rides on. That came out of nowhere, but
it felt like whatever. Dark Souls. Like that whole kingdom felt like a Dark Souls level. Honestly,
it looked very Dark Soulsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the moon world really made the game feel like, all right, now you're in another galaxy. Wink, wink. Like this is a whole new game, and they just mess with the mechanics and mess with the way you've been playing it every time. Not in a bad way, but like every kingdom, it's like, all right, relearn some things because you're not going to be doing a lot of what you did previously, except for just jumping around. And it's just so much fun, nonstop fun. They know how to make Mario games over there, and I love it.
Yeah, it turned out Nintendo still very much cream of the crop when it comes to platformers. Stellar. Can't say enough good things about it. So, now that you've finished your list, it occurred to me that it probably might be better if we all, if we go, number 5, and then switch versus number 5, and then go 4, 4, 4, 4, if that makes sense?
Yeah,
Think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I know you just got shafted in that department, but
it's cool.
it just occurred to me. I apologize. I'm trying to become a better host this year too. All right, so that was a great list. That's a bunch of, again, like this year or
Very
last
great
year,
list.
so many great games. You can't really go wrong no matter what you do.
And I didn't even play all of them. Like I didn't
Yeah.
play Zelda. I didn't finish Wolfenstein 2.
Same here.
Yeah, so you got those to look forward to now. So it's like,
Yeah.
either way, it's a win-win. All right, so Emma, what's your honorable mentions? Give it to me.
Emma.
Sorry.
It's all good.
You cut out, so I didn't even hear my name. All right.
Oh,
Anyway.
I'll edit this. It's fine.
Editing finest. Heck yeah. All right, so my honorable mentions. First honorable mention I have is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And I'm not really going to talk about it because we've pretty much already hit on it with what Eli had to say. So, yeah, great freaking game. It's gorgeous.
Gorge.
Right. It's hella gorge. Second game I have on here is Outlast 2.
Oh damn.
And right, like that's like way random. But I love that style of game. Like I know that it's not for everyone. Like most people don't like that type of game, but I really do. And I really, really, really enjoyed the first one. Even though the first one was extremely repetitive. Every 2 seconds you had to go turn on some valve in the basement. Like I mean, every single time. It was like, oh, go turn on the power? Well, go turn on this valve first. Oh, turn on the water pump? Go turn on this valve. Oh, wait. Now go turn on these valves so you can turn on the valves to turn the water on. And that was just awful. So
Outlast
obviously
valves.
in this game, right, no valves.
Made by Valve.
Yeah, made by Valve. Half-Life 3 confirmed.
But a lot of people. This one was a lot more open, like outside, and a lot of people didn't really like that. I kind of enjoyed it. I think that being in the asylum was great and everything. I mean, but like, there's something about like, for me, it's more scary running around in like an open place than like your confined little hallways, which seems kind of counterintuitive, but that's just my personal opinion. So Outlast 2, if you haven't played the Outlast games and you like horror type games, you should give it a shot. I enjoy them.
I played through the first one actually. Like my friend and I, we did shared play, and we could toss a controller back and forth through the PS4. You know, the power of the internet. And then we played through that whole game in a night. Like I think we played through it in like 6 hours or so.
Yeah,
and
it's very digestible.
Yeah, it was so much fun. And then part 2 came out, and then ever since then I've just been waiting for the price to go down. I'm like, I don't want to spend $20 on it. I want it to be like 10.
$20. Oh
Yeah,
man.
$20.
I make so much money. I can't spend $20.
I know. I'm just in that mode, but
It's smart. It's smart.
that game looks a lot better. I mean, it look more visually appealing. Like it looks like a next gen game or current gen game, whereas like the first one, it didn't look so great. I mean, most of it was dark and dreary, but at least, you know, part 2, it looks like it's dark and dreary, just prettier.
But outside, right? It is really pretty, and it's also made by an indie company, Red Barrels. So go support them, because all those indie companies, they need people like us
They do.
to spend $20, Micah.
Micah,
Shots fired.
support your
You
devs.
got me there.
Support your devs.
That's actually, it's really funny I'm saying that because I never even paid for the first game.
Okay.
Like it was a PlayStation Plus game when I first played it, like the first February after the PS4 came out, and then it was also Games for Gold last year. So I've never actually paid for that game, but
Nice.
go support indie companies. Spend the $20 on.
I'm gonna go spend that $20 because I feel bad now. Because I got that first one on a deal, so might as well throw them that $20. I mean, I think I even got the DLC for the first one for like $3.
Yeah, and the DLC is great too. Whistleblower.
Yeah, Whistleblower. Yeah, it's more of the stuff you love.
Lore. Lore.
More
lore.
Outlast lore.
more
lore
valves.
and lore.
Yes.
So many more valves.
There's not that many valves
In Whistleblower.
in Whistleblower.
That's good. They learned.
Yes, they
Yeah.
did.
That was
They're
that's Outlast 1 was always a game I wanted to play. It just, it's one of those that never got to, and I pretty much heard almost unanimously negative reviews for 2, but the way you talk about it kind of makes me want to give it a chance.
I enjoyed 2.
Okay. Fantastic. Yeah, I'll have to give it a chance.
I think a lot of people that played 2 had not played 1. So I think that you'll appreciate 2 more if you've played 1. But that's just my personal opinion.
No, I'll definitely play 1.
Yep. I enjoyed it. Yeah, 1 is great. I mean, again, it's extremely repetitive, but it's just so freaking insane. Like, it's so freaking insane.
Mm-hmm.
So
Put that on the
Very
box.
freaking insane.
Even on the scary meter, like out of 10.
scary meter. Okay. I'm not the one you should ask this because I love that kind of stuff, so I'm so burnt out on it. So like
Desensitized. if you
right,
will.
I'm completely
Okay.
desensitized. So there have been times where I'll be playing and this jump scare will happen and everybody else in the room will scream and I'm just sitting there completely unfazed. Like,
What a badass.
Damn.
because for me it's more like I love getting scared, but now it's just like, well, I love scary things, even though it doesn't necessarily scare me all that much. Like, Outlast isn't really scary. It's just it's almost more of a thriller, I would say, than like a horror game. Just because, like, yeah, you have some jump scares and stuff, but they're pretty predictable. And again, it's more like suspense thriller because, like, there's no combat or anything. Like, you just run away and hide. Like, that's the whole concept of the game. Like, you never fight anything. So you have to run away from the enemies and hide. And a lot of people don't like that, which is, I get that. It's fine. But it also, it gets your heart racing. So I enjoyed Outlast. If you haven't played the first one, go play the first one. Outlast 2 is great. Whistleblower is great. Outlast is just great. Support indie developers. We need you.
Support indie developers. Matt, what's your number 5?
I don't even have like 5, so I'll give you like my number 4.
Sounds good.
You mean honorable mentions?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Honorable
right,
mentions, too.
honorable mentions. My first one is LA Noire because it came out like 6 years ago, I think, or a while ago.
It's like 2011. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
And when I first was making my list, I had just started playing it. So I like it a lot because it's something I've never seen before in a video game where you play as like a detective, and even though the story is like pretty linear, examine crime scenes and clues, and then it's not as action based as it is really you have to inspect clues, and then you have to ask, like, you got to talk to suspects and stuff, and basically like try to find out what happened, the truth and stuff. And then when you're questioning people, you can when they're telling you things, you can be like a good cop, and like if you believe what they're saying, you choose good cop. Or if you think that they're lying, you can go bad cop, kind of like call them out on their shit. And so I had a lot of fun with that game, and I beat it like a week ago. I will say that it is a bit slow in the beginning, but if you give it the time, it really picks up near the end, and the story gets a lot better. So that's a great game. I would recommend it if you haven't played it. My second honorable mention would be Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5 collection, because I love Kingdom Hearts, and I think everyone should at least try it out at some point. And it's an honorable mention only because the Kingdom Hearts games are kind of old, but
Kind
Yeah,
of.
they.
I think I was
This
like
came
8
out
in
like a
2000.
couple years ago.
Yeah, it's been like
It's been a couple
Couple.
years.
Sequel might
but,
be right around the
yeah.
corner.
So, I think they also just recently came out with a package where it's Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5, and then 2.8 in one. So
This
it's like,
naming conventions,
if
I
you-
can't. I can't.
Yeah, I can't deal with it either.
2.8
If you've ever had
final
any-
chapter prologue. Get the fuck out of here, Square Enix. Oh my
if you
gosh.
if you've ever had any inkling to try out Kingdom Hearts, you should buy that package where it's like literally all the Kingdom Hearts games in one. Yeah, so that's my number 2, and then my last honorable mention is Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Legacy, because I'm a huge Naruto fan. So the deal with this is that it's all of the main Naruto Storm games in one package. So for me, last generation, I had an Xbox 360, which I played like everything on. So I played Storm 2, 3, and then like they had some filler games in between. And but Naruto Storm 1 was never released on the Xbox 360, so I never played that one. And so when the Legacy Collection came out, I picked that up. I platinumed Naruto Storm 1, and
Congrats.
yeah, thank you. And Naruto Storm 4, I platinumed that like a long ass time ago when it first came out, but that's in the collection too. So yeah, that's honorable mention because those are older games too. And so for here's my number 4 is New Frontier, and this one is pretty self-explanatory. It's more Telltale, and The Walking Dead is probably my favorite Telltale game, and I liked the new characters they introduced, and I thought it was cool seeing Clementine again as like more mature, and she's like almost completely different than what we've seen before. She's like, kind of like a badass now. Like she can take care of herself, and she doesn't like trust people very easily. And depending on the things that you say and how you interact with her through the game, she may or may not, like warm up to you and consider you an ally. So that's my number 4 game of the year pick.
Perfect.
Good game.
Yeah, definitely. They also released the if you haven't played The Walking Dead, they released a like remaster of season 1 and 2.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, with
I heard about that.
new trophy lists. So I assume free platinum's on 1. All right. It's number 4. Let me see. So where we're at. All right, so Max, what's your honorable mentions and your number 5?
Okay, so my first honorable mention is Crash Bandicoot.
Good game.
Like nostalgia sells. Tim Geddes saved the Bandicoot. It's kind of like I feel like all of our first PlayStation games, like everyone in here, more or less.
Yep.
Um,
Well, CTR, but basically.
yeah, I still haven't beat the first game, but shout out to Crash Bandicoot just because nostalgia.
That
so good.
that boulder level, the Uncharted 4 boulder level, like
Yes.
I
So
got
good.
so I had a giant dumb grin on my face the whole time. I'm like, this is
Plus,
this is
like it sold
fantastic.
so well that I'm pretty sure Activision's gonna do Crash Team Racing or Spyro
Please.
or whatever the heck
Please.
fans want, right? Because like obviously it's selling,
Yeah.
so something's gonna happen. They have to do.
Oh yeah.
we thoroughly saved the Bandicoot. Like it just completely outsold any expectations I believe they had. Like it's sold
Yeah, and if it's like a
meteorically well.
PS4 exclusive or not, it's not really known. But either way, it's selling like gangbusters. So good for that.
Good for them.
My second one honorable mention is Life is Strange Before the
Oh
Storm.
damn.
I like Life is Strange a lot, the original. Like I like that one a lot. This one's not as good in my opinion. It falls kind of short. They try to force Chloe and Rachel's interaction too much just because it's 3 episodes, so it's a lot shorter. But I'm glad there's more Life is Strange in 2017, even if it's not made by Don't Nod, which is the original developer.
There's
And
gonna
my
be like an actual sequel to Life is Strange, right?
yeah, there's gonna be a sequel, but I don't think it's the same characters. I think it's gonna be like new characters and everything. So
Really?
Okay.
They could
Yeah.
use different characters if they wanted to, unless they did some
because they're
alternate way.
getting there's like a farewell episode coming for Life is Strange Before the Storm for Chloe and Max. So like if they're naming it farewell, you know.
I mean, either
So who
way,
knows?
I'm in. Life is Strange is good.
Yeah, I like Life is Strange.
Shout out.
Hella.
Hella.
It's on my list. I need to play that too.
Some of the dialogue is pretty cringeworthy, but good game.
Yeah,
overall.
but whatever.
Preteens
I like
tend to be
those games.
cringy.
Yeah. So I'll give it like a pass.
I noticed it was the first episode that was the worst. Like the person who was directing these voice actors wasn't doing such a great job. And then the second episode, he got
The
his
second
shit
episode
together.
was good.
Yeah, that's where they picked
And
it
the
up.
third was kind of too passive, in my opinion. But I'm not gonna get into that.
Yeah, not
It's
enough
like spoiler territory. So
Like we weren't affected
yeah.
emotionally like we should have. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but
there's an element missing there.
because it's 3
unfortunately.
episodes, they kind of had to rush things.
It was like the first one was like, okay, building up the emotional thing, and then second one was like, okay, you know, the feels train is hitting you, and then the third one they tried to continue it, and then they wrapped it up real quick. And
Yeah.
it was like, is that
And
it?
honestly, the whole voice actor thing, I hadn't played the game before, like the original, before I played this one, so I didn't remember anybody's voice except Chloe, who was, you know, Aloy. So like that was in my head, but everyone else, like I didn't really notice the difference personally, just because like I forgot because it's 2015,
Mhm.
so that was 2 years ago. But yeah. Anyways, my third pick is Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. Holy fuck, guys!
Yeah.
Holy fuck!
I told
that's
you.
all I have to say. Like, you have to play this game. It is unlike anything I've ever played. I've never put a game down because I was like so mentally exhausted from it.
Yep.
And that's just like every hour or every hour and a half I had to put it down. And it's only like a 7-hour game or whatever. So I put it down quite a lot. And it's just crazy having like these voices in your head. One ear is like positive and the other ear is negative. It's so crazy. And
She's gonna die. Oh no, she's gonna live. She's gonna die. She's gonna die.
yeah, it's
Crazy.
really creepy towards the end. It's like turns up straight up like horror, which I did not expect at all. Like it was pretty creepy for me since I'm not into horror or anything. But it was just like batshit crazy. And you definitely need to play it. Like you can't really, you just have to experience that game. That's definitely something you have to experience. And since it is an indie developer, just like Emma said earlier, definitely go support them, especially since they are talking about mental health issues, which is a really big, positive for like games to tackle and like media in general talk about. And the graphics are surprisingly good for your small studio that made the game. The thing I didn't really like that much about the game was the gameplay aspect. It's kind of like you go in one area, you do a certain puzzle, you unlock a door. You go in that area, you do the same sort of puzzle, and you unlock a door, and there's like some combat in between. And it's basically that the whole game. So there wasn't like really any variety. But great game. Definitely check that out. And
Definitely.
my number 5 for game of the year is Walking Dead: A New Frontier. I really like Telltale games, and I always wait until the whole season is released so I can just binge it, because I can't be asked to wait for like the individual episodes. And nothing will really beat season 1 of Walking Dead Telltale for me. That was just way too good between Clementine and Lee. But to me, the characters of season 3 were a lot better than season 2. And I know a ton of people got pissed off because you're not directly playing as Clementine in season 3. She's like a side character. But the characters that you control, Javier and his family, they're so, I don't know, I just found them really relatable and a lot better than the characters in season 2. And just like normal Walking Dead fashion, like shit hits the fan, assholes try to take over a certain their camp or whatever, and there's zombies and shit. So it's a great time. So yeah. Oh, and season 4 is going to be the final season for Clementine, and Kind of Funny's Gary Wood is going to be writing that one. So I'm excited for that.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
what's up.
Sweet.
That's what's
We
up.
need more Gary.
Anyway,
So who's next?
you're next, Micah.
I am next. Okay. So I'm gonna start off with my honorable mentions,
Yes,
as
sir.
we're calling them. So mine is a little indie darling called Doom, but that game came out in 2016, but it came out in 2017 on the Switch.
Game of the year 2016.
So it counts.
Yep, I'd say it still definitely counts. I mean, it's the same game, same mechanics, same everything, same graphics. I mean, even though it's on the Switch, it does look kind of crappy, but it's on a small, 7-inch screen, and the resolution, it varies from like 720 to like, I don't know, like 480p, but like you can't tell the difference at that point. It's just such a small screen. It's like, well, what does it matter if I have a few less pixels? I'm still having fun. But anyways, I didn't play it in 2016. I didn't get it for a PS4, so I thought it was like perfect chance for me to jump on and play that game because I didn't have anything to compare it to. Whereas like if I had played it on like PC, like 4K, 60 FPS, like this thing would have been just a piece of garbage. I've been like, no, not playing this. I got that way better experience on PC. I got my mouse, my keyboard, got
My
4K
drivers,
screen,
my Excel spreadsheets.
my driver. I got my 244 hertz screen, all the bells and whistles. I got my fucking shader packs in there. I got all these mods to make it look like it's real life.
The nude mods.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all those new demons.
I got like two GTX 1080s, so I can play it in 8K. Like
900
okay,
frames a
calm down.
second. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it's pure gameplay. Like this is why you're playing this game on Switch. It's at 30 FPS, so it doesn't feel as smooth, but like it's still pretty damn smooth for a 30 FPS game, and it doesn't drop frames too much. And like when it does, like there's just hella enemies on screen, so it's like it can't hang for that little bit, but it evens out, and it's like, okay, I'm still killing the demons. It might be a little chuggy, but hey, it gets the job done.
You're just slow-mo punching the demons.
Yeah. I don't know, like I feel like to me that adds to the experience sometimes, even though that sounds kind of dumb.
That's
Like there was this game. It's called Dead Rising 2. In the game, I saw Digital Foundry playing that game, and they were looking at the frame rate. And whenever you'd hit a zombie, the frame rate would drop. And they were saying that was like planned. It kind of gives that like slow mo effect.
Yeah, right. All
Which-
right.
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
Okay.
Like that's the biggest like Tommy Wiseau like cop
Yeah.
out. Like
It was all on purpose.
yeah.
It was a comedy.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, even though the frame rate isn't the smoothest, it still works out. And you get all the guns, you get the BFG, right?
Yep.
Big fucking gun.
Big fucking gun.
Yep.
Get that
And you
Mick Gordon soundtrack going.
Oh yeah,
boy.
the soundtrack is amazing. Like I turned that
boy.
like all the way up on my headphones. And like I'd probably be taking a shit even than playing that. Like I'm shitting and playing Doom. What more do you want in life?
That is
Like,
the most like metal shit you'll ever take in your
yeah,
life.
exactly. Like
Does it sound good?
Yeah, nothing
Like,
about this sounds good at all.
No, but you should be like, pushing out a really hard shit. Like that's how I imagine it.
Oh my
Like,
god.
just grunting real hard. Like you're fucking constipated, but I'm killing demons.
You're
So
gonna bleed.
Rip and tear until it is done.
ripping your asshole. Oh god. But yeah, not gonna talk about shit anymore.
Thank you.
Yeah, you went down the Micah rabbit hole. So I'll move on from Doom, and my third or second pick for my honorable mentions is Wolfenstein 2. So I haven't finished the game, but I still want to include it just because this game is so fucking badass. So I finished the first Wolfenstein, or the New Order anyways, like a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was last week or week before that. So, I don't know. It was whenever.
Time
but anyways,
is nothing.
yeah, it's all like jumbled in my head. Like who knows? But anyways, I love the New Order, and like fucking Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus is like the New Order, but like they put like a fresh coat of paint on it, and like it doesn't have the 360 and PS3 to hold it back anymore. Like, oh man, that game is so sexy. Like I just could like just pause it and look at it. I'm like, it's great.
I didn't think New Order looked bad on PS4 at all, but I was like, New Colossus can look way better.
New Colossus,
man, like
the jump is noticeable. Absolutely.
It is very noticeable. Like the New Order, oh man, it's rough. Like especially playing it on my new TV, like you notice the flaws like right there. I'm like, it's not pretty. Like those textures look very PS3-ish. Like I didn't sign up for these old graphics.
My textures.
Yeah, even on PS3.
Triple A.
Yeah,
Video games.
but anyways, like even on PC, that game probably wouldn't look good.
It looks good.
But
It doesn't.
it looks good. Okay.
It doesn't look that much better, but like it looks good still.
Yeah,
I don't think it looks that
looks
bad
good.
to begin with, but it's definitely compared to Colossus, it's like night and day difference.
Yeah, definitely.
My favorite thing ever is the fact that the New Order literally came out on like 5 discs on the Xbox 360.
Yep.
Jesus.
Jeez.
Have
That
fun.
is just hysterical to me. Like that's like floppy disks, like way back in the day. Like,
Yeah, it's like the original.
literally.
It's like the original Wolfenstein. Like that's what.
it
Yeah.
came,
Oh my God.
it came out on like 4 or 5 discs on 360.
Mm-hmm.
For a
As a
12-hour
joke, right?
for a 12-hour game. Like that's ridiculous. Man,
It's the power of Blu-rays.
power
You can
Blu-rays.
fit a lot of stuff on there. A lot of the gigabytes. But anyways, yeah, Wolfenstein 2. I love how in that game, like when you're on that big old like submarine thing, and like things are going on around you, like it feels like a living world almost.
Yep.
Like the doctor, and then there was that one fat chick, the fat Nazi chick.
Yeah.
I forgot her
Yeah.
name. You know who I'm talking about? Well, anyways, like she's singing that song that's based off of that Beatles song. Like I forgot what they're called.
The
But
Yellow
it's-
Submarine one?
No, she's saying like mold, yeah, or something like that over and over again. And but anyway, she's like singing along to the song, and the doctor is like, shut the fuck up, pretty much like over and over again. And then you see it play out, and she gets all like into it, like she goes like opera voice, opera mode, like singing all high pitched. And he's like, "Oh my god, fuck my life!" And then, and then she stops, and then like you hear him singing it. I'm like, "Oh, he got it caught in his head too." But just little details like that were amazing. And then there's this other character you end up saving. It's this black girl, and then her husband, and they have a kid together and everything. And then you save them, and the husband, he like sees that you have a toilet on board, and he's like loses his shit, like literally. He's like, "Oh my god, I haven't seen a toilet in forever." He's like, does it have toilet paper? He's like, no, duh. He's like, "Oh my god," just he thinks it's the most amazing thing ever. And it was so great. I just love the moments in that game like that. I don't remember stuff like that in the New Order, so that's definitely a step above. and it's all the little details that make that game for me.
Grace is one of
And,
the best characters like this year. Period.
Which one was she?
She was the black woman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's a badass.
She's so good.
Like she reminded me of just like Jimi Hendrix, just the female version.
And you
Shout
see
out to Jay.
you see Jimi Hendrix in New Order.
I know I missed that.
Yeah.
I don't know how I missed that. Because I saw that in a video, like a YouTube video, and they were talking about that. I was like, oh man, I missed that. I was kind of waiting for it.
You might have been. It might have been like the different timeline or whatever.
That's what I'm thinking. I fucked up.
Yeah.
I should have picked the other dude. But
Anyway,
yeah,
Oh, did you pick the old dude?
I might have.
dude,
I don't know.
Fergus all the way, man.
Yeah,
All the way.
I didn't know. I didn't know that there was a right one and the wrong one to pick.
Yeah, I believe Fergus
just
is quote unquote canon, but it doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't change all that much.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, well, you guys saw me like try to stream that game. I am terrible at this game.
It was hard to watch,
man.
to say the least.
Yeah,
It's hard.
It is hard though. It is very hard.
It was, yeah, like to my defense, like it's not an easy game, and like I'm not too good at video games to begin with, and when it comes to shooters, like I feel like this game especially is like you have to be on your shit, like you have to know how to aim, like peek around corridors and like pop people in the head, like
And grab stuff really fast while you're running.
yeah. It's not easy. Like I noticed it's like they up the difficulty in this game compared to the New Order, which I mean it's
100%.
not a bad thing, but my skill isn't there. I mean maybe one day, and that's it for Wolfenstein 2. I did not expect myself to love that game. Like it's so great. I like after this I want to go and try to finish that game. It's so great. I better
Yeah,
stop.
I'm inspired.
Yep, we're all inspired.
I'm inspired to replay it. 'Cause I loved it so much.
Anyways, moving on to my last honorable mention is Horizon Zero Dawn, and oh man, I was like holding off on playing this game. Like I had bought it on a sale for like I don't know, like $45, and it came with DLC and all that. And I was like, oh, I'm just waiting for my OLED TV. Like I have to see it in the most perfect way possible. I need to see it, with the HDR and their 4K setting. Like it's gonna look amazing. So, oh man, I popped that game in, and it's just a fucking like orgasm of color in your eyes. Like just so much color.
Just
It's
your
amazing,
eyes just bleeds
beautiful colors.
one tear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, oh man, it's pretty much like, I don't know, when you get high, like you see colors more vivid. That's pretty much what it was like. But you didn't have to be high. Like that's the best way I could explain that.
Just imagine it high. Just
So
like,
that's what I was thinking. Like, oh man, what if I got super stoned right now and just like make it like more colors?
whoa.
Like more colors. But oh man, it's such a beautiful game. I can't say any more about that. Like, oh, they did a great job. Like the art in that game. It's so underrated. I mean,
No, it's not. Everyone loves it.
Okay. I didn't really see anyone, talking about how great it looked.
What?
But
That's all everyone ever talks about.
okay.
You missed the
If
window.
anything, Horizon's overrated.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, maybe I didn't look too into that game, but that's how I saw it. Mostly because it didn't get any awards and all that. That's kind of in my head. Like it should have gotten that award for like best art style, but like of course there was Cuphead and all that, which
Cuphead,
stole
yeah.
the show.
Absolutely.
Which I mean, yeah, I see that, but yeah, and then just the robot dinosaurs. They're hella cool. Like trying to cover their weak point, and you just fucking pop them, and you just oh man, it's so amazing.
It's just satisfying,
Yeah,
when you hit the weak spots, especially.
Mhm.
Makes
But
that
you-
sound.
And when you don't hit the weak spot, it's like, oh man, I fucked up.
Now they're gonna go after you. I'm gonna fucking die.
Yeah, like it's the end of the world. I didn't get him in the weak spot.
That sound
It's
hits
just
me in the
because-
weak spot. little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yep. I love the voice actor for Alloy. Like we were saying, she voiced Chloe and
She's not a metal, Aloy.
Aloy.
Ashley Burch.
Alloy.
Is it Alloy or
No, it's
Aloy?
Aloy.
Aloy.
She's
Well,
not. She's not
I mean,
titanium.
But I mean, there's a lot of metal going on in that game, so it's supposed to
is.
sound like it. So you know, there's
One
some
L.
lines that can be drawn.
They
there.
knew what they were doing.
One L.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay. But yeah, great game. I want to go and finish it. And I like how your guys are telling me how it can be played like a linear game if you wanted it to be. So I think that's how I'm gonna play it, even though like I was doing all the stupid side quests and shit.
Do the side quests.
So that's
At least
yeah.
They weren't that
some,
bad.
do some of them. There's not that many at all. It's very easily digestible for a
Do
game,
the
for a
bandit
game like that.
camps.
Yeah.
You kind of got to do some of them
okay.
For,
I'll
like,
definitely do it.
the
Um,
end
if-
of the game.
hmm I don't want to rob myself of that side quest experience. So, yep, everyone check that out. I'm sure you all have. And on to my fifth choice for my top 5 game of the year. So I picked Uncharted Lost Legacy. I mean, we've already talked about it. I'll say a little bit. Like before then, I was having this. Like I did not want to pick up a game. I was like, nah, I can't do this. I'll put in a game. I'm like, it's not clicking at all. So I just turn on Netflix and chill for a while, and then try and go back to whatever game I was playing. And it just nothing was clicking until this game. Like, you guys got me so hyped on Uncharted. Like, it's my favorite series of all time, I'd say. And it definitely delivered, and it's just so good. Like the gameplay is so fluid, like compared to 1, 2, and 3, where it's just all jank. Like you try and aim and you're fucking moving across so slow, and there's an enemy. I'm gonna get there in like a couple of seconds. But just amazing game. Chloe, she's pretty hot. I'd say she's probably the hottest Uncharted character by far.
Dang, over Elena.
Yeah, Elena, she's more of that like the girl you'd marry, and then Chloe's just a chick you screw and then forget about. So
Sounds like Uncharted 2.
That sounds
Yep.
like it's Uncharted too. So
Yep.
you speak truth.
I'm glad I'm not the only one thinking that.
Sully is obviously the sexiest, so I just think y'all are crazy.
I agree with that
I mean-
100%. Personally.
All right,
Yeah.
I totally agree. He's very sexy. That
Actually,
voice.
I take that back.
Nothing like it.
Jeff the cameraman. It's my
Ooh.
yeah, because
Shout out to Jeff the cameraman.
he records he record everything.
But,
God damn it.
yep, Lost Legacy, dude. Great game. Everyone go play it.
Yeah, seriously, if you haven't
Man,
played if you haven't played by now, get on it. Same with everything else in all of these lists. Period.
Matt.
Just go play all
Maybe
of the
someday.
video games. Yep. Finish 4
Still got to
first.
beat Uncharted 4.
What are you
Yeah.
doing? What are you doing?
What the hell?
That's all I'm saying.
So many distractions, man.
I know it.
Too much
Hiking.
to play.
I know it. But Uncharted 4
Yeah.
priority. Just it's so good. And that's the last I'll berate you about Uncharted 4 for at least a couple days. All right, so now I'll do my honorable mentions. So my first one is Assassin's Creed Origins. I didn't expect this game to be nearly as good as it is. Holy shit, it's amazing. When it was announced, I was like, oh, it'll just be another Assassin's Creed, but then it's anything but, and I'm really happy with the direction they took, and I hope they stick with it. Egypt is beautiful. I really love Bayek. He's fantastic. His whole dynamic with, was it Aya? Is his wife's name?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's fantastic. It's so good. I need to get back to it. Camels. Big shout out to camels in general.
All right.
Yeah, it's like, what other game lets you ride a camel besides this?
The camels suck, though.
Yeah, they're so slow.
I like to take it in. I switch back and forth between the horse and the camel.
I
but
mean, when you can spend $5 to get a motherfucking unicorn.
you didn't even do it. So
That's because I ain't giving Ubisoft no more money.
That just shut down your argument, but whatever.
Okay.
It's fine.
I'd pay $5 for a unicorn.
I'll PayPal you $5. My next
Got the game for free.
My next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the game for
Thank
free.
you,
Just
Ubisoft.
buy.
I love you. I really do love the Ubisoft.
Just buy the unicorn. You got the game for free.
$5.
Just not you play.
Yeah, no, fuck you, play. Anyway, the next one, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. Just relenting, harrowing is probably like the word I would use it for it most accurately. Like Max said, I really wasn't a fan of the gameplay loop of just like this weird environmental puzzle that was very too specific. Like you had to get it just right for it to line up and open a door. I actually really like the combat. I think it's some of my favorite like sword-based combat in any game, to be honest. Just the animations are beautiful, but just the presentation for a studio the size of Ninja Theory, unparalleled. It's incredible. The combination of like Norse mythology and then just like this really personal like mental struggle is a surprisingly effective premise, and it's executed amazingly. Go play it. That's all I'll say about it. And then my last one on my honorable mentions, Cuphead. And the only reason it isn't higher is because I didn't get to play very much of it, to be honest. It's just one of the most like charming games I've ever seen. Just every frame, there's so much going on. There's such a level of detail that you really rarely ever see in a game, and especially a game that doesn't sacrifice its gameplay. Like it is still like the gameplay is so good consistently, and it looks great, and the music is great. Like everything is executed so well, and they deserve so much credit for what they did. It's on Steam. It's on Xbox. Go play it. I wish it was on PlayStation for trophies, but that's just, they got to have something. And my number 5, I understand this is absolutely cheating, as this game came out, I think 2012 technically, but I played it this year on the on the PS4 release. It's a game that I hadn't shut up about on the show time and time again. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. It just came out at just the right time for me. I really wasn't aware of this game at all, and it just completely consumed my life for a bit there. Everything about it shouldn't work. Really, the only thing that's exemplary about it is its combat system, but it's just kind of better than the sum of its parts, if that makes sense. Like, the story isn't great at all. The voice acting isn't great at all. In fact, it's part of its charm that it's really bad. You just hear the same lines over and over and over again. It's like some reason it's not annoying. I don't know why. I don't know what kind of magic they put into it to make it not annoying, but there's just this weird charm to it. Technically, like the draw distance is garbage. Like some people will spawn like 5 feet ahead of you when you're walking around. It's like supposed to be this open world, and like you don't see people coming until they're like right in your face, pretty much. But all of these things aside, it's just
What's the positive?
The positive, I don't know. That's the thing. It's like it's combat, definitely. Just the feeling that it gives you, I guess. Like it's just there's no other game I can think of where you can grab onto like you can climb up the back of this massive cyclops and like go for its head and just get knocked away. It's its music, it's its combat, it's just the sense of like camaraderie between you and your party members, even though like they're very one note and they say the same lines over and over again. And, like it's just this weird charmness. It's this weird charm to it that I can't really summarize. But it just enthralled me, and it has to many that played it. It's all I can say. Yeah, it's better than some of its parts, and I'm really glad they put it on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One for everyone to revisit it, because the original ports were really bad in terms of draw distance. I can't imagine how bad it was if this is like 5 times the draw distance that it had originally. Yeah, it's the combat, especially like you're fighting like these giant monsters, and it just feels very visceral, for lack of a better term. I know that's a buzzword that gets used a lot, but there's no game like in a fantasy setting that feels as cool to play as this does, and that's why I just fell in love with it. All right, so we'll move on to our number 4. Elijah already went. Emma, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is Call of Duty World War II.
WW2.
Hell yeah. So I've been playing Call of Duty since the very first one ever came out. Like ever since I can remember. I can't remember a time in my life when Call of Duty was not a part of me. But these past 3 years, to say that they have been a disappointment would be giving too much credit to those Call of Duty games. I'm not a fan at all of like the jetpacking Call of Duties. So like Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, and Infinite Warfare, they're just god awful to me. I hate that type of movement system. Works like it's in Titanfall and everything, and it works for that style of game, but like just not for Call of Duty, especially in like competitive multiplayer like that. And I just wasn't a fan. So with this game, I was super excited. I kept my expectations low still because I didn't want to overhype myself, and I think that also kind of helped me though, because when I got the game, it's so good. Like, I'll talk about the campaign first and I'll talk a little bit about the multiplayer. The campaign, it's nothing special, it's basic. It's your linear World War II, you're so-and-so, I think his name's like Daniels, and you're just going through like with his squad and their story, and you're fighting in the Battle of the Bulge and everything like that. But the game is absolutely gorgeous. This is the first game I've ever played where during a cutscene, I literally could not tell if it was like real, like live action or not. Like it looked that freaking good. And the sound design is just amazing. Like the sound of like the bullet casings coming out of the gun and the reloading, like it's just so satisfying. The campaign is way too short. It's like 6 hours or something. Like it's extremely short, way shorter than all the other campaigns, which really sucks because I really enjoyed the campaign for what it was. I mean, I would put it at the top, like close to World at War's campaign for me.
Damn. Okay, that's bold. As a big fan of World at War.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, like World at War was like by far my favorite. This one was just so. This one, I think the reason why I rate it so high in my like Call of Duty rankings for campaign is because it's so nostalgic. Because like they do away with the regen health in the campaign, so you have to pick up health packs. You basically have like 4 people in your squad, and each one of them has an ability that they can give you. So like you have your one squad mate that'll hand you med packs, another one will hand you grenades, a third will call in airstrikes and just stuff like that. So it's a lot like Finest Hour, because Finest Hour was like that. So this game is almost like what Finest Hour was back when it first came out in like 2003 or whenever it came out. So it's just very nostalgic for me. Multiplayer-wise, multiplayer's fun. It's more boots on ground Call of Duty, which I'm just a Call of Duty whore, so I love it. There's not near enough freaking maps, though. There's only 9 multiplayer maps in this game, compared to like other ones that have like 14 at minimum.
Buy the season pass.
Right, which I did, of course. But yeah, that's really dumb.
Triple.
But there's enough weapon variety, enough game mode variety. They added kind of like a headquarters, which is kind of like Destiny's Tower, which I thought that I would hate at first, but I actually kind of like it because you can just go in and like join 1v1 lobbies, which is kind of fun, it's just kind of unique. Like Call of Duty's never really done that before. And you can also play, it's funny because they always talked about how this was going to be the most realistic World War II game ever.
Yeah,
you
right.
can literally go to the American tent and play Atari games. Like you can spend your armory credits that you earn super easily in game and play like some old Atari games, which
historical realism.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I enjoy it. I can play some Pitfall 2, some River Raid, but yeah, as a Call of Duty fan, World War II is really good, especially if you didn't like the last three. So, yeah, it's definitely my number 4 spot.
How's the zombies in it?
Zombies, I've played not a crap ton of the zombies, but I have played a little bit, and it's just more zombies. See, for me, I always liked the simpler zombies, so like World at War zombies, where it was very much just like the smaller maps and you were just like surviving. So like all these, when did it actually start kind of getting more ridiculous? Like kind of just like Black Ops 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. Like if you like Black Ops 2 style zombies, like the more story driven, there's a crap ton of crazy stuff you can do, then you'll like love these zombies. But the zombies are gorgeous. It's fun to shoot zombies with World War II weapons again. So, but yeah, other than that, it's just that type of zombies just isn't for me.
Despite me being
Okay.
Sweet.
test.
So who's next?
Test.
Max.
Go Max.
Matt is.
Oh, Matt. Maddie.
This is what I have for my number 3. South Park, Fractured But Whole, plus The Stick of Truth. So before playing these games, I never really watched South Park before, and so I was excited to try it out because I heard a lot of good things about the TV show. So I played The Stick of Truth first because I knew that was the one like right before the Fractured But Whole, and I loved it. Like I really really liked that game. So yeah, then the Fractured But Whole was also really good. Not as good as Stick of Truth though, because it just kind of it's way too long. It's like over 20 hours, and I've said this before on the show, I'm pretty sure, but like Stick of Truth was like the perfect length. It was about 13-ish hours. So both games were good. Definitely Stick of Truth was just a little bit better. I platinumed both of the games, so that should show how much I enjoyed them. And because I played these games, it made me want to check out the TV show, which I did. I think I got to like season 3 with my friend, and then I haven't watched it in a while, but it's a really good show. I'm surprised I haven't watched it like that much before. And
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't seen it before playing the game.
Yeah, like I've seen episodes here and there, but not enough to really recall like how the characters are and stuff, or like remember any of the jokes. But yeah, so I'm glad that I played this game and it got me into the show. I really need to get back into the show because I was really enjoying it. And yeah, so the last thing I want to say about that is the game the Fractured But Whole has a season pass. So now that it's been like a month and a half since I played that game, whenever they drop the DLC or whatever, I'm gonna have to buy that season pass and play it because I'm sure it will be like at least good. That's all I have to say about South Park.
All right, so my number 4 is Batman Telltale series. I'm not really that like hardcore into Batman. Like I know Noah's super into it, so he knows like all this stuff and whatever. But I really enjoyed this game. It was the first game from Telltale that I played that had their updated engine, so it's like a little more interactive. So since those games are like just passive, like interactive storytelling, this one was like a little more interactive than Walking Dead Season 2 and The Wolf Among Us, which is kind of cool. And it just was like a really good story. All the characters had really nice motives. I didn't expect it to like it as much as I did. And the funny thing is that there's so many voice actors from Uncharted 4 in it, which I find really funny. Because like the game was announced like right after I beat Uncharted 4, so it was just funny to see that they basically just moved from one game to another. But yeah, I like the dynamic between
everything.
Yeah, I like the dynamic between Bruce Wayne and Batman, like the choices you make. And I know episode 2 is like on season 2 is on episode 3, I think. So when all 5 episodes are out, I will definitely buy it and play it because I can't wait.
It's already
I'm
off
right
to
there
a good
with
start.
you.
It's off to a really good start so far. But I don't know if it's going to be the first season because it's so good. The first season is incredible. So
Yeah, first season's really good. And the cool thing is it's on PS Plus right now. So if you have PS Plus,
Perfect
go
time
get
to
it,
jump
download
on.
it for free.
Yeah,
For
Not-
January?
not
no
anymore.
excuse not to play it.
It was last month. Oh wait, no, yes, it was this month.
Oh, it was last month?
No, it was this month.
No,
I,
no,
did,
it's
Yeah,
this
it's this
month.
month.
I just had a
You did
stroke.
the
January.
Gridlife Plus.
I
video.
literally
No,
made the
you-
video about this, and I
Yeah, it's
still messed
January.
it up. Yeah, that shows where I'm
feel
at
like
right
the-
now.
Hell yeah. I feel like
Yeah.
that game's been like on sale like multiple times. Like if you haven't gotten it by now, like there's something wrong with you. You know, I mean, I feel like I've seen that like it's been like $5 or even cheaper. So I just feel like most
Worth it.
people have had it. Yeah, definitely worth it.
Yeah.
But check that game out since it's free.
Yeah,
And,
no excuses.
No excuses.
Free platinum,
Go pick it up. Yep.
if that's a
Easily.
motivator for you.
So my concern about those games is like, is there combat at all? Or is it just like Walking Dead, where you're like making decisions
It's
and
like-
walking around?
It's like swipe up,
It's-
like
Yeah,
press
it's like it's
quick
more
time events.
interactive.
Yeah, it's like a God of
You
War
Walking
quick time
Dead is
event.
kinda just the camera, and then this is like swipe up and then like swipe right to like punch or whatever. So you actually like you use the sticks to like punch or whatever.
Oh, okay, so not the
And, like-
touchpad.
No,
Okay,
not that I remember.
all
But-
right, all right.
They do
But-
a really good job of incorporating that combat in, even though it is the Telltale style. Like you
Yeah.
still feel like a fucking badass. Like,
And of
oh,
course,
man.
like it's clunky and whatever, but you just have to like look past that because it's a really good
Mhm.
game. So
and like it is that's supposed to be a new engine, right? But in that game, like it feels like in the beginning, that beginning sequence, like where those dudes are robbing the place.
mhm.
The frame rate was so bad in that spot. Like it was
Yeah,
chugging
It's
hardcore.
clunky, but
Yeah, and like on that game, on Xbox One, that game is sub 720p. It's like 640 or some shit like that. And then
Damn.
on PS4, it's 720. Like they kind of fucked that game up a bit, like technically. And they've done a lot better job of with the second season. They've ironed out all those bugs finally.
Yeah, well, can't wait to try it when, like, just like Max said, when all the episodes come out, because I'm sure it'll be good.
Definitely.
And the best part, free platinum.
Oh my god, not a real platinum, but still a platinum.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll go next. So
Okay, go for it.
hell yeah. So my fourth pick for Game of the Year is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So we talked about that game a fair bit in the beginning.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, heard about it a time or two. But
Little indie game.
Small indie title, right?
very small. But yeah, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, like that's my first exposure to this game. Well, actually, the first time I played this game was at Kind of Funny Live 3 with Moises, Eli. You were there too,
Yep.
and a bunch of the other KFBFs. And it was just mind-boggling to me that you could take off the Joy-Cons and give them to different people. You can play on the screen. Like, it was just like, oh man, this is actually happening right now. Like, it feels like you're playing at home on your TV, but with your friends, but you're actually on the go. And we were in a hotel, like, I don't know, some random hotel in their lobby playing. And oh man, it was so great. And this year I didn't expect myself to buy a Switch, and I've told the story, like I just saw it in a Walmart, and this is when they started really bumping up the stock, putting them out on store shelves more readily available. And I picked it up, and I picked up Mario Kart 8, like specifically like to play that game. And when I came over to San Francisco, Max and Eli and I, like, we had such a great time playing that game, like all over the place. Like we played it at Underdogs, and I'm putting up a video of that trip in a couple of weeks here, so you'll be able to see us playing. And we were just going back and forth, having a great time. And even when we were on the train playing, like we weren't playing together, but we were passing off the Switch, and even that was a lot of fun. Like we were kind of buzzed, just passing it back and forth. Like, oh, what was it, Max? You're saying that Yoshi was OP, so we were all testing.
Yoshi's a secret OP.
we were testing out that theory, and he was OP in some instances, and.
It made that like 2-hour train ride just go by so fast.
Oh man, it felt like we started playing and then we were there like somehow. Yeah. I think that was more like an hour train ride, but still it felt like a 20-minute train ride. And definitely recommend that. It's definitely my favorite multiplayer game of the year, except for the online sucks. Like I remember Eli and I, you and I were playing it, and I swear every time we tried to play against each other, it just dropped.
Yeah.
Like Nintendo's not working right now. But yep, great game. Everyone should check it out if you haven't already. I'd say that's the killer app for the Switch, right behind was it Mario, right behind Odyssey. So
yeah, if you're buying a Switch, like pick up Mario Kart that same day for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep, if you aren't, you're doing something wrong. So, yep, that is my fourth pick.
Good pick.
So, Noah,
How does this sound?
turn.
Do I sound terrible still?
No, you're sounding
sound
good.
great.
You sound pretty crispy.
Production, man, it's a bitch.
Very much.
Ain't that the truth?
So, while you're talking about killer apps on Switch, it's like that's mostly what they have. It's like it's just a lineup of killer
It's
apps.
all killer apps.
Yeah, it's unheard
That's
of.
true.
All right, so my number 4, also kind of lower than I anticipated, Horizon. So, like I wrote in the article that's up on the site, I said to the extent that Breath of the Wild excelled in its open-endedness, Zero Dawn really doubled down in the presentation and the mechanics. Like, it is by far my favorite bow combat in any game, period. It's just so much fun to play, and obviously just constantly amazing to look at. I really thought it was going to be higher, but there's just so many good games. The fact that this is Guerrilla making it is incredible. I thought the story was cool. I grew to love Aloy as a character. I wish she was a little bit more loose, but with her life and everything that happened to her, totally get it. She's a hard ass. But yeah, man, can't say enough good things.
Badass.
Yeah, she's badass. Like in the beginning when she was like, "Sleep is for the weak," I'm like, "Oh shit." But yeah, it's a masterpiece. It truly is. Like, PlayStation has a new
Hit franchise.
hit franchise, iconic
Series.
character. I hope we see something from Guerrilla soon with the Horizon 2 or whatever they're doing. I still haven't even played the Frozen Wilds, which is also another
Me neither.
testament to how packed this year was. I'm sure it's great.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's fantastic. I just haven't gotten there. Intend to do that soon. But yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn, fantastic. I give them they're not similar, like hardly at all, but I always mix them up for some reason. Yeah, how about number 3, Emma?
Number 3.
My number 3 is kind of a hot take here.
Oh dear.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
I put BioWare's hit game 10 out of 10 Mass Effect Andromeda.
Okay.
No, it's not 10 out of 10. That was a joke. But
I cry every
Still
time.
number 3.
So, first off, I have not played the trilogy, so you cannot hang that over my head, okay? Because after I beat this game, I spent a good amount of time watching like reviews on YouTube and stuff, and it basically seemed like everybody's main issue with the game is that it wasn't as good as the trilogy, and that like the animation, the bugs basically. So for me, I don't necessarily have anything to really compare it to. I've played a little bit of the first one. I've played like 5 to 10 hours of the first one. I have not played 2 or 3. And I got it like a month or so ago. So the patches like are already out to fix it basically. Granted, some of the facial animations are very subpar.
My face is tired.
But like, right? Oh my god. Yes, like, but that's kind of like, for me, I almost kind of find it endearing, like how ridiculous sometimes it can be, and like I can just sit back and kind of laugh. That's not something that's really an issue for me. I do know that there are people out there that are super technical about that. So, which, you look at this game and it's this big AAA title. So the fact that it had such a rocky launch is pretty unacceptable in my opinion. But I personally didn't really I had bugs and frame rate drops, but nothing near, as extreme as some other people had when this game first came out. So I love this game. I think it is gorgeous. The main story is kind of, it's nothing super spectacular, but it's just very much explore, and then you have here's your big bad guy, alien race, pretty stereotypical. But I love BioWare's games. They obviously made the best video game of all time, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I loved the characters in this game, which I also found interesting because a lot of the reviews I watched, people just shit on the characters because they said that the trilogy characters are better.
Yep.
And that very
Nobody
well,
cares.
yeah, like that very well may be. I just don't like know that, so I haven't experienced that yet.
I'm envious of you. I'm totally envious of you.
I am super excited that I get to now play the trilogy. Because I think, I don't know, because I did really like these characters. So for me, I'm like, wow, if these characters suck compared to the trilogy characters, like I'm like really in for a real treat. So I'm really excited. But the combat in this game, I think, was really well done. And that was, a lot of people were comparing it to the trilogy and saying that they actually like the combat in this game better than in any of the trilogy. So I guess I'll just have to find that out. But
The trilogy combat is just dated, so.
yeah. I mean, when I was playing the first one, I could tell it wasn't like unplayable by any means, but the combat in Andromeda is very fluid. It works very well. So that's like one of the things that I don't really like combat in games. I know that that's kind of like ridiculous to say, but like,
As a Call of Duty fan,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
yeah, like, but in third person, like RPG style games, I like to play more for the story and exploration as opposed to like the combat. So, this game though, like the combat was actually fun. Like it's one of the first games I've really played where when I came up to a group of enemies, instead of being like, ugh, a group of enemies, I was like, yes, a group of enemies.
yes.
Right. Like I just like don't have that feeling that often. So whenever I am playing a game and I have that feeling, I just kind of have to sit back and be like, yeah, I actually enjoy this combat system. So, yeah, I really like Mass Effect Andromeda. I will probably dislike it after I play the trilogy, but I'm really glad that I got to play this game before the trilogy, so I can at least admire it for what it is at this time. So I enjoyed it.
I have a few comments. Just first off on the cast, I really actually like a lot of the cast of Andromeda, but 2 specifically, they're like that has like the most amazing ensemble in any game ever. So I can see why the reviews are so hard on it, because like
that's what I've heard. So
I don't know how they made it work. Like all these different personalities, like I don't know how they did it. My main issues with the game are almost all technical. I liked a lot of the decisions that they made. It didn't have nearly enough interrupts, which were a big thing, and especially 2 and 3. When they do happen, they're almost always shoot things interrupts, which I like, but we need some Paragon ones too. Also, just the fact that they removed the Paragon Renegade system kind of makes sense. So I don't really dislike that change, but I'm kind of nostalgic for it. And yeah, like you we've gone on ad nauseum about this, but just wait till you see this trilogy. Like I bet you might even like this more because you'll understand the gravity of the threat that they're running away from.
Yeah, like even the thing, because I've never played the trilogy, but I really, really love when games tie into each other like that. So even though I've never played the trilogy, I knew, like, once you beat a certain side quest, that it's dumb that you have to like beat the side quest to even find this out, because I feel like a lot of people don't even see this part of the game, so they don't even get this context. But when they actually like explain basically like why they left, and they tie that into what is going, because this game takes place between 2 and 3.
2 and 3. Well,
I'm pretty sure
it's technically like way in the future, but they leave between 2 and 3, which yeah.
And yeah, just that tie-in of just like why they left and talking about Shepard and everything, like that was super freaking cool. You know, even though I've only played like 5 to 10 hours of the first game, like I really, really appreciated that. And it kind of makes you look at the entire game in a different light almost. So
yeah, it almost starts out with this like very hopeful, like, oh, we're gonna go see what's out there, and like kind of like a Star Trek type mentality. But it's like, no, we're running. Like,
yep.
I feel like spoilers if you haven't played it by now, you're not gonna play it. But
that's my top game, 2017 game that I need to finish, because I actually want to finish it. I don't know why I like dropped off, because I was actually having a good time playing it. Maybe just something else came out, but I need to get back to that.
The fact that it isn't my number 1 is it just kind of saddens me a little bit, because like I don't know, behind Metal Gear, like Mass Effect is like probably my favorite AAA franchises. I adore those games so much. Like 1 is pretty dated, obviously, but just 2 and 3 just they never get old. And I don't know, this should have been a really easy number 1 game of the year for me, but the technical issues really botched it. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, that really it's so easy to sit back and just be like, how the fuck did you guys let this game out the door?
They had to get it out.
How freaking buggy it was.
People were waiting forever.
Right? Like,
yeah. And then they canceled.
That's just another instance where I just make us wait a little bit longer. Yes, people will be pissed off, but you would have had a lot less pissed off people in the long run if you just would have taken a little bit longer to actually make a game that's stable.
Yeah, just
a bad game is a bad game forever.
Yeah, if it had like another year to cook, like I think it would be a monumentally different story. Because yeah, like the mechanics are so good, and like there's so many good things about it, but it just completely botched out the door, and it's such a shame. They canceled the DLC, they closed the studio that was making it, which like the B Team and BioWare. But
yeah, I was gonna say, do you think that we'll end up with like a new trilogy with Ryder?
I don't. I think they're gonna try to separate themselves as far from it, Andromeda and its characters as possible. Like
that's what I thought too.
But they can. Like that universe is big. There's so many things they could do. But yeah, they're gonna. We're not gonna see the Ryder twins anytime soon. I actually kind of like Ryder as a protagonist. Very, very different from Shepard.
I've only played it obviously one playthrough, and I played as the guy, and yeah, he was likable enough.
Mm-hmm. When you're gonna
I feel like I could be myself more with Ryder than with Shepard.
Yeah, Shepard was like your Captain America, like perfect leader type.
Yeah.
When you do the trilogy, I actually recommend going through as a female shepherd. That's actually what was originally intended, and I just feel like Jennifer Hale does such a great job on the voice.
Well, hello, it's Jennifer Hale.
It's Jennifer Hale. So if that's any like sway for you, like
hearing freaking Bastila and Karth's voice, dude,
Yeah.
like I might actually die.
yeah, Commander Shepard is a woman to me, and she always will be. Anyway, Matt, what's your number 4 or number 3 or number 2? I got myself with your list.
Number 2 is Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. Well, I played the original games. I don't remember which one. I think it was the first one, like really long time ago at my aunt's house because she had a PS2. And I was like a kid, so obviously that. And I liked what I played, but like later on she got rid of it. I think she gave it to like her sister. So I never played Crash again after that because I didn't have my own PlayStation 2 at the time. So when this was announced, I saw, our boy Tim Geddes getting really hyped about it. And then my friend was going to get it. So I'm like, yeah, I got to get this too. I pre-ordered it. I got it the first day it came out. And, really enjoyed it. It's just like a great platformer, and I platinumed all of the games, so
Of course you did.
Damn, shout out.
What a that's incredible.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
yeah, the first game especially was really hard to platinum because of the game. It's just that like the time trials they make you do, like especially on the levels where like you have to do like these 2 bridge levels, which
The
are
high
really
road.
really hard and frustrating to do. But like I hung in there and somehow got through that. And then once you can beat the first game, the next 2 are like so much easier. Like as you go, the games they just get easier for whatever reason. But like I think all of them are still pretty fun. So yeah, that's pretty much it with that. Like I just hope that, because the sales have been so good, that we can get a new Crash game or Crash CRT soon, something new. Yeah, that's it.
Crash Team Racing is my Tim Geddes get hype moment for PSX or whatever. Like, please.
Yeah.
Max?
Never.
So my third one is Horizon Zero Dawn, robot dinosaurs. You can't really go wrong with that. That's just sounds so cool. And like Noah said, best bow play I've played in any game so far. It was really cool. Amazing graphics. They have like amazing. I have no idea what they do, but like the lighting in that game, it's so great. The way they use light to like create this like ambience in the environment's ridiculous, absolutely absurd.
The best possible lighting in any time of day, just all the time. Like, it's nuts.
Yeah, so it's so good. Really fun gameplay, great story. I don't really like the characters that much, including Aloy, but I guess it's kind of there's like not much to her because she's like an outcast and she has to be like Noah said, hard ass or whatever. And I didn't really give a shit about a lot of the characters from the side quests and stuff. I didn't really care.
You didn't love Rost?
Well, besides him and like
all right.
Silence, but other than that, like all the other characters, I skipped through so many dialogue options. I was just like, I don't care. Like, let me go back to fighting dinosaurs.
Can I just fight dinosaurs now, please? Thank you.
Yeah, that's like how I played. It might be also like this low on my list or whatever because I'm salty that the platinum trophy glitched on me where I couldn't get the OP armor.
Yeah, that
which
sucks.
is one of the trophies. But yeah, great game. I like that with like since Aloy's like new to the world because she was an outcast. Like with all the collectible stuff that you find, you like learn about the world through her eyes. For like every time she finds something, and I find that really cool because she's like brand new to like all the stuff in it too. You know.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
absolutely.
world building that's like really amazing. Even in like the collectible stuff, you get a lot,
Yeah.
but in the side quests, in the main quest, it's just constantly like explaining things to you and building up. Like, all right, there's this hunting lodge where they take down has been going on for years. They take down like the biggest machines out there and all this stuff. And yeah, they really are setting up like this universe.
Yeah, and like we said, that Guerrilla Games, who used to make, you know, Killzone first-person shooter, which I never played, but I heard about the games. It's just crazy that the transition between that and this is crazy. Just, yeah.
I really want the art book for this game because I can only imagine the amazing concept art that went down there. Because man, just some of the designs for the creatures in the world is just gorgeous. It's so detailed. There is kind of you gotta get kind of a hint of the Killzone aesthetic in some of the creatures too, which I kind of enjoy.
To be honest, I was kind of expecting them to be like, "Oh yeah, the Helgas built these robots." At some point.
I'd be so pissed. I'd be like, no, don't. Like they like when they have the red eyes, like they look like Helgas, like the white metallic and the I'm like very similar. Please don't be shared universe, please. The gorilla universe. Don't know if we need that because Horizon's world is really cool on its own. How about you, Micah?
Okay, so my third pick is Persona 5. Like I know I'm putting a lot of these Japanese games in it.
You'll never
but
see it coming.
Yeah, it's just the way it is. Anyways, this is one of the games, like, if I was to put it into, like, a subcategory, it would be in the category of, like, you know, I should have finished this game, like, the one I regret not finishing. It came out, like, in the beginning, not in the beginning, it came out in, like, May-ish, like, around that time. But, oh, man, I'm going back to, like, Persona 4 Golden. I had so much fun with that game. It's, you know, it's on Vita, it's on the go. And I had never finished like a JRPG before this game, like except for Pokemon. I feel like I've talked about this already, but anyways, I was just so hyped for it. Like I love the Persona characters. They're so quirky. They have all these weird random things they say. And Persona 5 is no different. Like in the game, there's this cat and her name is Morgana. And I can't tell if she's supposed to be a dude or a girl because she sounds pretty girly.
It's ambiguous, but on purpose.
Yeah, which there's nothing wrong with that. It just kind of keeps you on edge. Like, what do I think?
Keeps on the edge of your seat a little bit.
Exactly.
Is it hot?
Is it hot? The cat?
Yeah.
It's not that hot. I've seen.
Be attracted to this cat.
I've seen
Not
this
really.
cat in question. It's not hot.
Oh.
But
Teddy was hotter. Teddy from Persona 4 was hotter.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, and
Yeah.
his voice is way better. But anyways, she like the reason why it's kind of ambiguous is because there's this other character in Persona 5. Her name is An Takagami or something like that, and she calls her, or Morgana calls her Lady An, and she's constantly like hitting on her. It's super weird. Like just a cat hitting on a Japanese girl. I don't know. It's different.
It just sounds like Japan to me. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. That's the most Japan thing ever. Like, you know, you should know what you're signing up for. But and then like Morgana, she's supposed to be a human or something else, and she's trying to get out of her cat body, and that's part of the story. But the art style is really great in that game. I don't know. For me, I can't figure out which game I think is more pretty. Horizon Zero Dawn or Persona 5. They're like two kind of completely different art styles. Just the same thing. Like the colors really pop. Like on my I'm gonna keep on. Yeah, I'm gonna keep on talking about the new TV I got. Like you kind of have to deal with it. Anyways, on the TV you can do like forced HDR. So like if the the content you're watching or playing that doesn't natively support it, there's an option to be like, oh, you want HDR, you can do like light, medium, and like high or whatever. And I always do like the highest one. Yeah, like extreme, you know? And you can do that, and like Persona 5, it goes from like, okay, it's popping to now like, you know, like,
Okay, it's popping.
yeah, so much color, you know, it's so great. And love that game. And one thing I have to mention is it probably has my favorite music out of any game for 2017. When you're fighting an enemy or like a boss, like there's this bass line that's playing and like in repeat, like it's so like monotonous but like and repetitive, but it's so badass. Like I was listening to it on the way up to Leavenworth, like on repeat. Like, you know, I used to play bass guitar, and I'm like, fuck, if I had my bass guitar right now, like I'd really want to learn how to play this. It's so sick. Like you'll have to listen to it. It's so catchy, and just all around an amazing game. The gameplay, it's kind of like that. And, you know, turn-based, like kind of like Pokemon. You take your turn to fight, and then you can kind of mix it up. Like if you knock down an enemy, you can switch around and bring out a different character and just keep the chain going. Like, oh, you knocked down all these characters. Now you can finish them like a final attack. They all form together with all your persona. Yeah, like pretty much like finish him. Like all the characters start attacking, and then all your personas come out. And it's so great. I definitely recommend checking out Persona 5. It's kind of hard to get into. It's a lot different compared to any other game out there. Super Japanesey, as I would describe it.
Yeah, I've been wanting to try that out, but it's like you got to play like a shit ton of hours to get anywhere.
Yeah,
it is true.
That's the one thing. Like I still haven't beaten Persona 4 Golden. I'm still on like the last boss.
I thought you'd beat it.
No, I didn't beat it. I got to the final boss. I beat like the boss, but then there's like an after boss.
A post boss.
Uh-huh.
And then because he kicked my ass, I have to fight the first boss again, and that just pissed me off so much. Like I haven't gone back to it. I might as well just like look up the ending or something, because I don't know if I'm ever gonna like
endings.
I just don't feel like grinding in Persona.
What difficulty did you play on? Was it like
I think normal.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure.
See, like for me, the only way for me to get through that game was to put it on the easiest difficulty.
Wait, can you switch the difficulties midway, or
You might be. I don't know. It's been a while since I played that game.
Because if so, like I'll do it. I just want to beat the game already. Because it's been like years at this point.
Because how many hours have you put into that game, you think?
It was like 70-ish.
Oh, okay. See, like just that like difficulty bump will add like 30 hours. Like I went through the whole thing in 40 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it adds that time like quite a bit. So I'd say bump it down a bit so you can at least finish it, because it's worth it.
I mean, if possible, then yeah, I'll do it, because like I said, it's been like years since I started this game, like probably like 2 years or something like that. But like what I played, I really enjoyed. It's just like that last part is kind of like destroyed me.
Yeah, not easy. But yep, everyone go check out Persona 5. I mean, it's not a game for everyone, but if you love that,
not me.
Yeah, turn-based, and you love
this is the this is the least Max game ever. I'd wager. That's fine. Different strokes.
Don't recommend it.
Different strokes
for Max.
All right, so I'll do mine. My number 3, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. So I don't think
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it? Okay, well, strap in. I don't think I've ever gone back and forth so much on a game before, ever. Like, the highs in this game are just meteorically high. And the lows, I'm just like, why did you do this? Like, I don't love it. Like, there are people in this world that will just defend this game to no end. Like, it cannot do anything wrong, and it is just a perfect, immaculate masterpiece. Nintendo can never make a mistake, but I didn't feel that while playing this. Like, but still, it's amazing. Like, it pushes what an open world can do and feel like so far ahead that developers need to catch up. Like, the sense of exploration that this game has is I've never felt in any other game ever. And it had hands down a few of my most emotional moments this year, particularly toward the end. This isn't really a spoiler, but when you're going toward Ganon's castle, like, just the Zelda theme plays at like the perfect moment, or at least it did for me. And like, I just started welling up. I'm like, this is just like, everything is working together at like the right moment, and it's amazing. And I put like 70, 80 hours into it still. Like, I had a lot of complaints with it, but it was still such a great experience. So I wouldn't give it a 10. I think its mistakes are too glaring not to point out, but it's still like an 8 or a 9, absolutely. But I hate number scores overall. I hope they continue in this direction, but I also hope they bring back some of the older formulas elements too. I feel like there's a happy medium that they could reach. That would just be, it would be perfect. So yeah, just, I'm really anxious to see what they do next with Zelda, because it's Zelda for me. It's like one of the first like pieces of media I ever remember seeing in my entire life, like Ocarina of Time. So it's there's a very special place in my heart for this series, and I will always love it. Like, ups and downs. I got through Skyward Sword somehow. So I'll always wish it the best, and I'm still playing it. Still have the Champions Ballad to finish. So there's still a lot more game left. But
you got that motorcycle?
I do not have the motorcycle. You get that by beating the Champions Ballad stuff, and it's pretty lengthy. So I'll get it one day, just not right now. Switch games are kind of like, I don't have any inclination to rush them. They're just kind of like the everlasting gobstopper type things, especially with Zelda and Mario. Like Mario, I'm going to be playing until the next Mario comes out, because there's so many moons.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my number 3.
Rip.
Emma, what's your number 2?
Alrighty. My number 2 is Assassin's Creed Origins. This is a game that there's no reason, like, I had actually no expectations for it when I first saw previews and everything, just because, like, don't get me wrong, I love the series as a whole. I've been playing it ever since I was a kid, but it just got so repetitive and just kind of boring. The past, like, literally, like, the past, like, 4 installments, I just weren't my thing. So when this one was announced, I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. But, like, this game absolutely blew me away. It's gorgeous. The photo mode, like, I spent just as much time playing the game as I spent in photo mode. The story, I thought, was actually pretty well done for the most part. There were a lot of... My thing with the side quests is there were a lot of side quests, and you're technically doing, like, the same thing, whether it's going and finding someone or, like, going and saving someone from some, like, camp. But I never, when I was playing the game, I never really got the feeling of, oh, I'm just running around doing the same shit over and over and over again. I never really got that feeling. And I think it's just because they actually put time and effort into making some of the NPCs more diverse. So that's something that I really appreciated. And also, I think the thing that really, really sells this game is just Bayek as a protagonist. He has to be, like, one of the most likable protagonists I think that I've ever played as.
He's so good.
And Aya too, she's so freaking badass. Like, I mean, those two characters, like, literally the power couple. So, I like, if you were like me and were gonna kind of, or have passed on Origins because you don't really have high expectations for it, go play this game. Like, for real, go play this game, because it is really, really good. It is that breath of fresh air that like this franchise needed so bad. And it makes me really excited for future Assassin's Creed games, but also like I don't want them to kind of fall back into what they kind of did, you know?
Yeah.
They showed just what, like, take a year off. Like, you don't have to consistently pump out these games year after year after year after year after year. Like, you guys took a year off and you came out with this game that's super good and by far the best in the series. So, yeah, I'm both very excited and kind of worried about Assassin's Creed's future. So, it gets my number 2 spot.
Turns out, if you make something like The Witcher 3, it's good. And that's basically what Origins did. And for all the right reasons. Yeah, so good. Like, it just came out of left field. Like, I don't think anybody expected it to be this good.
No one
It's
did.
like, how? Why? How'd this happen? But I'm glad it did.
How much is it like connected to the rest of it?
It's like the origin of the Brotherhood, technically, as the title says. So, like, really, you could probably jump in without having any prior knowledge, really.
Yeah, I didn't do any of the, present day story. Like, there's like some small missions where they force you to do present day story, but it's kind of like locked. Most of the information on the present day is like you just read notes.
They
So I was
connect.
like,
They
I was
connect
not
the
gonna do
present
that.
day. They connect the present day with Desmond. So
Oh,
I think I'm not gonna like spoil anything, but yeah, like the present day gets hardcore connected with Desmond. But in terms of like the actual playing as an assassin, yeah, it's just like the origin story. So yeah, nothing to really connect there.
What are we, a bunch of Assassin Squad? That's how it
Oh,
happened.
Michael Fassbender.
That movie, not that bad. It's bad.
Yeah,
But it's not that
I
bad.
enjoyed it. Like, it was not a good movie by any means, but as like
Yeah.
an Assassin's Creed fan, I enjoyed it.
I came out walking. I was like, oh, that wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible. It's not good by any means.
Right.
But I was like,
I've seen worse.
yeah. I really actually enjoyed all the Spain stuff. I want a game in Spain now after that. So, I mean, I guess it worked. I made me want to play Assassin's Creed. So I guess by advertising, it worked. Matt, what's your number 2? Or number 1?
Number 1.
You think we're down to the number 1? I still don't get this. But here we are.
Well, that's because you guys actually had like 5 games, and I only could think of 4, so I think that's why you're still confused.
It's because you're too busy platinuming 2016 games. I think that's why.
Yeah,
My theory.
probably.
Or like
Probably.
2005 games with Kingdom Hearts.
That too.
And Bakugan,
I haven't heard that in about 10 years. Holy crap.
Listen, the games are not that bad.
Not
on
that bad.
PS3.
Ringing an endorsement.
I played Bakugan in real life.
Yeah, me too. It was
Like,
fun while it
I-
lasted.
Right. Like,
My little
I
brother
had
did.
Trophies for playing in
I
real
had-
life.
That's true.
plastic, like, arena you would build, and yeah, like all the little Bakugan balls and the magnetic
Oh,
cards
yeah.
and everything.
I love
I still
Bakugan
have
balls.
my Bakugan cards. I can't find any of the the actual Bakugan though, but got to be somewhere in my house. Anyway, yeah, my number 1 game of the year. It's a hot take, but I gotta go with
The
Star.
hottest of
The
like,
hottest,
hot
like,
takes.
you think he said Journey was boring? Like, he said all these other hot takes this year. This blows them away.
Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Oh my god.
Gosh.
You said it.
No.
So good. It's so good.
So my question is like, what's a hotter take? Like me thinking Spider-Man: Homecoming sucked, or him thinking that Star Wars Battlefront 2 is like
Matt's
No,
for sure.
no.
That's for sure.
No, I'm gonna say Micah's is worse because I can see the entertainment value in Battlefront, but Spider-Man: Homecoming, fucking awesome, and you're a crazy person still to this day.
Well, I defended myself like several episodes
You did,
back. So.
you did. We don't need to go back, but you're still. We're gonna have to agree to disagree forever on this one because
Okay.
crazy person.
It's okay. I'm not right in the head.
Battlefront
Never
2.
claimed to be.
Battlefront 2. What do you love about it?
Yes.
One, I'm envious of you.
Well, I think the thing I love most about it is just the multiplayer because, like I don't play multiplayer games really like ever. It's so rare for me to pick up a multiplayer game and then, get into it. Like I just don't play multiplayer games. So I got this game because I really enjoyed Battlefront 1. And I don't know, it was just a lot of fun playing with like some of my friends, getting into that multiplayer and just like having conversations like over PS4 chat or whatever. It's like really satisfying, like when you kill someone because like I think I'm pretty good at the game, and I don't know, like I said before, like I don't play multiplayer games often, so like I don't know, I just like Battlefront 2, man.
I well
It's
said.
so good.
Well
It's
said.
so good.
I just have one question for you. Did you
Yeah.
did you at any point feel a sense of pride and accomplishment while playing this?
Yeah, because like
Okay.
I've been getting kill streaks, man.
Okay.
Like I told you, like I'm really good at it. Like in my opinion, like I'm not the best, but obviously, but I don't know. Like I just think I'm pretty good at it, and I'm proud of that. I'm like ranked 25 right now, and I've easily played over like 30 hours probably of this game.
Jeez.
How would you feel
And-
about a pink Darth Vader?
I'm
Would you
all
be-
for it.
Okay.
Like pink is like one of my favorite colors probably.
Okay.
It's like it's such an underrated color in my opinion.
It doesn't get enough love, I guess.
Yeah, because like I feel like men in particular, they're like they don't want to admit it that it's a good color,
It's a good color.
but I will stand by pink. It's a top tier color.
There's some patriarchy bullshit going on if they think pink's not a good color.
Not enough pink in Star Wars. I'll tell you that.
Can we get
And okay,
pink
so
lightsabers?
Please.
another reason why I really like this game is because this is maybe one of the biggest reasons is this game like really got me into Star Wars.
All right, that's a good. There's a good light at the end of this tunnel for you.
Yeah, like because
You know what game will get you more into Star Wars?
All right. Force
It's Battlefront.
no. Force Unleashed 2. Force Unleashed 2 will get you into it, and then you play Jedi Power Battles, and then Super Bombad Racing. You'll be hooked.
oh,
Have
I'm
you ever
sure.
played the real Star Wars Battlefront 2?
2005.
I think I played one of them.
Because you should play the real Star Wars Battlefront 2.
That'll get you hooked.
I always preface the 2016 one as Star Wars Battlefront 2 EA, because one, that's what the logo says, and two, I don't want to throw any shade to the original great. That is still very fun to this day.
The GOAT.
I'm pretty sure I did have the original Battlefront 2, and I played it like maybe once or twice because back then I wasn't into Star Wars. Like I kind of like hated on it because it was so popular. I'm like, Star Wars kind of sucks. So
Kingdom
So, like,
Hearts.
Hey, Andy.
I played
And
it like once probably.
I was real good to
So-
your mother.
So yeah, I should probably go back because I still have it.
We have to go back.
Yeah.
It's often on Steam for like $2, literally, and it can run on anything. So that would be the version I recommend.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Didn't it just get updated too?
It did. I don't know how or why, but
I read something about that too.
totally
I
down.
think they bring back like actual multiplayer again or something.
That was
Yeah,
the
they
last update.
did.
They reactivated the servers a while ago. It's really hard to find a good stable game, so it's not great. But yeah, then they just updated it again. I'm like, what are they doing over there? I'm happy about it. I'm gonna jump in and see what's happening. But yeah, it's very strange. It's very strange. Go play that game.
Yes. And play EA version because it's good.
Okay, we're just good. This is it's good. it's good. What about you, Max? Number 2 or
My
number 1?
number 2 is
Okay.
number 2. Uncharted Lost Legacy. We did Uncharted Love Letters, so if you want to like delve deep into like what I think about it, you can listen to that there. But basically, it's like a little baby of Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 4. It's good.
Wonderful love child.
You could definitely tell that they didn't have like a full development like team and development cycle on it, since they did chug it out in like a year and a half. And I don't agree with some things, like the intro is not an Uncharted intro in my opinion, and one of the characters, I don't like how they wrote him, but that's just a personal thing. But it's Naughty Dog. It's great storytelling. It's great, environmental like world building and stuff, and it looks amazing and it's fun to play. So it gets my number 2.
All right.
Number 2.
What about you,
My
Micah?
Okay, so my number 2 is Super Mario Odyssey. So just all these 3D Mario games are amazing. Like going back to the one on the N64, Super Mario 64.
64.
Like going all the way back to that game. Like that game is amazing. That's where it first introduced 3D into Mario.
Into everything.
And, everything. Yeah, video games in general. And I mean, Super Mario Odyssey isn't as game changing as that game was. Like no other game can beat that in terms of revolutionizing.
Except for Knack 2. Knack 2's a close second.
that changed everything. But yeah, just the possession mechanic alone in Super Mario Odyssey, like for me, that was like, okay, I haven't really seen this before. Like I think they do that in Kirby, right? Oh, you eat the enemy and you have powers. You got a different hat on.
Yeah, except Kirby devours them, so it's a little darker.
Yeah, it's a little different. But yeah, like how we were talking about earlier, how you could be the dinosaur, like that's so badass. Like you're a fucking dinosaur for goodness sakes. Like there's no more you can say about that. And the soundtrack in that game is amazing, especially when you're in New Donk City, where it's the chick singing, and then it's like that was like for me like the happiest moment in gaming. Like I literally had like a tear rolling down down my eye.
It's impossible not to just smile in that whole. Yeah, it's like, all right, this is great.
Yeah, it's just made me so happy, and then the 2D part was involved. So you switch over, and now, I'm 2D Mario. You're taking yourself all the way back. Like it includes all the old stuff about Mario you love, and then it brings in a whole new level with the new possession mechanic, and then the whole thing with the hat where you can throw it and then jump on it, throw it again. Just keep on going, like just chaining those jumps up. And oh man, what a game! I can't say enough good things about it. I was just very enamored by it, just everything about it. I definitely recommend it to everyone. Like to me, it kind of got me back into Mario. Like Mario Kart is kind of a different thing, and then this is like, okay, this is Mario again. I haven't had this feeling since like probably Super Mario 3D Land on a 3DS, and that game came out in like 2011, and I 100% of that game. And
that game was good.
It was very good.
Very good. Very good.
Because I remember borrowing it from my cousin and playing through the whole damn game.
And then he's like, "Oh, you 100%ed it. I'm just gonna play on that." I'm like, "That's not how it works. You're supposed to go at 100% your own."
Yeah.
Like, this is my playthrough. Go do your own playthrough. Yeah, all these 3D Marios are just great. I can't say enough, and that's why it's my number 2.
All right, my number 2. Something I was really, really looking forward to this year, Wolfenstein 2. Man, if it weren't for the insane difficulty spikes, this would probably be number 1. Single player first person shooters are probably my favorite genre, just in general, and just the level of polish and care to the writing that Machine Games does is just unheard of. Like, it feels great to play, and the characters are great, and the story is way better than a Wolfenstein game should ever be. And just like the fact that they're making me care about BJ Blazkowicz as a character, as a person who was just, 20 years ago, an overly emotive face on the bottom of the screen. Like, that's the only characterization he has. He likes to kill Nazis. And the fact that he's a real character now, and I care what happens to him, is really incredible. And like I said, I love the gameplay of this series. Like, I love the dual wielding. I love just the classic like pickup style. Like, you have to pick up health and ammo. Like, I love that stuff. So it just really scratches that kind of classic shooter itch that Doom did last year, and that was my game of the year for last year. Yeah, like I said, if it didn't have these just insane difficulty spikes toward the last fourth, it would probably be my number 1, because it was consistently just a delight. And one of the only games since maybe like The Last of Us that just made me like get up and have to like just stop and go, whoa, like, did that just actually happen right now? That's something that just doesn't happen very much anymore.
I even kind of felt that in the intro, like the very beginning, like with the flashbacks to his parents. I don't know if that comes back later or not, but like
I'm not gonna say
beginning.
I'm not gonna say anything. Yeah, so good, so unbelievably good.
It got intense for a game that I literally just put into my PlayStation. The disc.
Just wait. That's all I'll say. I really hope it gets another shot, because it didn't sell all that well, unfortunately. But Bethesda seems to stick with their franchises long enough to give them another chance. So if we can get a third one that is as good, if not better, we're going to have one of the best first-person shooter trilogies ever made. And I'll stand by that. Emma, what's your game of the year 2017?
My game of the year 2017 is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Ooh.
So I didn't play my first Zelda game until I was 17. So I was kind of late to the party. I just didn't grow up on Nintendo consoles, so I guess that's my excuse. So when I first saw like gameplay and stuff of this video, or this game, I mean, right, I wasn't impressed, and I had very low expectations. That was just initial reactions. I can't tell you why. It was just from what I saw, it's like little naked Link swinging a stick around, and I was like, okay.
Get any more than that?
Sounds interesting.
There's like that one demo where they're like, watch this. And they like cut that tree down and it falls over and they walk across it. They're like, this is so innovative. And I'm like, okay.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool though. It's like, all right, I want to get that apple. Oh wait, I could just cut down the tree. Like, that moment's pretty cool.
Yes.
They should have done that.
It ended up being a lot cooler than I thought it was, but I decided that I was just gonna get it anyway. When it came out, I didn't have a Switch, so I bought it on my Wii U for my birthday. And oh my god, like every single time I play, this happens to me every single time. Every single time I play a Zelda game for the first time, it just blows me away. Like this morning, I started playing Twilight Princess for the first time, and it blew me away.
Holy shit, I am way jealous of that. I'd love to be able to experience that game for the first time again.
And like a couple months ago, I played Wind Waker for the first time, and again, it just blows me away.
I'm so jealous of you right now.
Every time, without fail, these games just do that to me. And Breath of the Wild was no exception to that. It is, a lot of people don't like the art style, but I think it's really gorgeous.
It's gonna hold up way better than Twilight Princess has. Graphically.
Oh right. It's this game is kind of like, it's almost like a mix between like the cartooniness of Wind Waker and the realism of like Twilight Princess almost.
I'd compare
It's
it
kind
more
of like or Skyward Sword maybe.
I'd put it more like Skyward Sword was kind of similar. I'd put it more like the vein of Ocarina of Time than Twilight Princess, because Twilight Princess was very dirty, like lived in. Like Ocarina still had that kind of like whimsical charm to it. Very cleaner.
It's I can't even describe the art style really. Right. It's just like, it's like a love child between a couple of the Zelda games, like art style, just like mixed together.
Kind of a threesome in a way.
Yes. A lot of people complain that Hyrule was too like barren for them, but I didn't personally feel that way.
There's so much. There's so many landmarks.
I think it's how you choose to play the game. I think that can also factor into that, because that thought never once crossed my mind ever. Like I was never running around and was like, wow, this is just a big world, but it's just empty. Like that never really crossed my mind. It's seamless. So I mean, you can be on one side of the map and you can look over and you can see like a mountain that's like all the way on the other side, or you can see the Sheikah Towers, and I never once thought it was barren. But you know, the main quest is like you know, it's whatever. It's very Zelda, but I like what they did with the champions. I just think that they really missed out on, they could have done way more. So that was kind of one of just like the nitpicky issues I had. My biggest issue is with the game is the freaking weapon breaking system. Like, the system's great and all. I just think that it's too overly done. But I think that's just for me. That's just like an annoying thing for me.
Totally agree.
Like the fact that you can break the Master Sword. Granted, it just runs out of energy or whatever.
You have to wait 15 minutes for it to recharge. I'm like, it's the Master Sword. Come on.
Right. That's dumb. And then like the Hyrule Shield can break. And then you can get it like repaired for like 80 rupees, but still like. That's
why it's just literally just sitting on a mount in my house. I'm like, I'm never touching the Hylian Shield.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh my God, same.
Yeah.
Like, I got that limited edition like Skyward Sword Link amiibo. So I got like the Sword of the Goddess or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's hanging in my house. Same with like Big Goron Sword and everything, because I'm just like, no, those are like iconic weapons that I will never use.
Yep, same.
Because I don't want them to break. So, you know, that's whatever. Voice acting, at first, I didn't like it. But then it kind of grew on me, even though the voice acting, it wasn't like super great, but like it had a certain charm to it, I think. Like Zelda's freaking cheap ass British accent is just like, I find it hysterical.
Your only hope.
To the point where whenever I'm like, when I was playing Twilight Princess today and Zelda's talking, when I'm reading her dialogue, I read it in that accent.
Oh no.
So I know it's like permanently ruined Zelda for me, but like ruined Zelda's not necessarily what I meant, but yeah.
Tainted.
Like I can't, right, it's tainted. I can't think of her outside of that British accent anymore.
Oh no.
So, you know, that's whatever, but it's a good thing that I guess I have a sense of humor about it, so I just find it funny.
Yeah.
But the thing I think that I like the most about this game is the music. Because just like every time I play a Zelda game, it blows me away, like the music, like the soundtracks behind them do as well. Because music usually tends to be like one of the first things that I recognize in a game or that I really pick up on. And this one was just like, it's so good. It's so minimalist, that it literally uses like piano. Like the majority of all the songs are just piano. And then you have like really quirky songs like at the tech labs.
And the accordion guy.
Yeah, Cass.
Yeah, I don't know
the
their
little
names.
bird.
Yeah.
And then I've always loved like the Goron's themes have always been my favorite in all the games. And just like I love the Goron themes in this game. They're just so like I find it funny. I don't know why. They're just kind of like over the top and ridiculous with like the saxophone and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I just really like it. So I mean the music is amazing, and the fact that you can literally go to like Lon Lon Ranch and it's just like in shambles.
I almost cried.
It's so freaking cool.
That game
Just, like,
broke me a few times for stuff like that.
But yeah, this game is really, really good. Yes, it has its issues for sure. Every game has its issues. I don't even think I'd give it a 10, you know, because there's only one true 10 out of 10 game.
Okay, all right. We get it.
That's what my third time
Mass Effect
shouting that game out
Andromeda.
tonight. Right, obviously. But I'd probably give this, I don't really like number scores either, but I'd probably give it like a 9.3 maybe.
Yeah.
Which is less than Ryan McCaffrey gave Halo 4. So
Oh man, that's very true. Holy crap. That's not a good review, is it?
he gave it what, like a 9.8?
Something like that. I was like, oh, I'm so
It
excited.
was either a 9.5 or a 9.8.
I remember like
For,
reading
like,
yeah.
the biggest letdown ever. Like that game.
No, 5
my
was the
God.
biggest letdown ever. Like
Okay, that's true.
5 is
But
abysmal. God.
Damn.
people say that Mass Effect Andromeda is a shit sequel. No. Halo 4 and 5.
Halo 4 had some good
Are-
stuff. I liked
The
how Chief was written.
multiplayer at
Okay,
least
yeah.
was okay.
I liked the
Like,
campaign
Halo
writing,
5,
but
it was
yeah,
just the level. Halo 4 suffered from level design issues.
absolutely.
But anyway, Zelda
Zelda.
Breath of the Wild. If you have not played this game, you're doing yourself a great disservice. Like it's really, really good. But it also makes me wonder, like, what are future Zelda games going to be like?
You know what I want for a future Zelda game? I want the studio who does the Donkey Kong games, Retro. I want them to make a Zelda game, like an American Zelda game.
I'd like them to do like a top-down one, like a traditional Zelda.
There's rumors that there's going to be one coming out on a new one for 3DS.
If it comes out on 3DS, I
No.
might break something. Please don't.
Don't do that.
I'm already salty enough about
Really
Metroid.
good game.
Already
I
salty
think-
enough.
We need an EA Zelda with loot boxes.
Oh my god.
all
You
multiplayer.
corporate
Kick you from this call.
EA apologist.
Let's be
That
real. The
would be
next
good.
Zelda game will be a battle royale.
Hopefully, if we're lucky.
50 or 100 Eponas drop into Hyrule Field. Only one
Oh my
makes it
God.
out.
And yeah, loot boxes, please add them.
Or if you don't want to get loot boxes, you can just pay like $50.
Yeah, get the super deluxe edition. Play 50 days
The
early.
Master Sword, $50 or 40,000 hours.
Yeah. Sense of pride and accomplishment. Oh,
I'd like
Battlefront.
to see another old school style 3D Zelda game personally,
Yeah, I want
but I
a
feel like
traditional.
that will never happen.
Yeah, I want dungeons back. I want basically I want them to go even more like Zelda 1, which is what they were trying to do here. And yeah, have like dungeons, like several of them instead of just the 4 divine beasts, because I took a really big issue with the divine beasts being so similar. Like the bosses were very similar, the aesthetic, like Zelda always had such variety in its aesthetic, and it just was not present here, at least in the like the main quest stuff and then the shrines. Give me some some very distinct temples with Breath of the Wild's like exploration. Like that would be 10 out of 10 material.
Yep. Definitely has its issues, but it is definitely a game that you should play for sure.
Max, what is your game of the year of 2017?
Assassin's Creed Origins. I love this game so much. Because as you guys know, I didn't really like have gun games growing up. So the games that I played were the three main Assassin's Creeds, but are actually the original Assassin's Creed plus the three Ezio ones. So like when they started, churning them out and having it be repetitive, I got like super annoyed. But this is just exactly what the series needed. Just like a soft reboot, I guess, going in a different direction. Amazing art style. Bayek, amazing character. I love how he interacts with all the kids and all the side quests and stuff. It's done really well. You really care for him. I also like how you actually get to see how the creed forms, because before it's just like, oh, here's a creed, and it goes like through the different, eras or whatever. But I like that we actually have an origin story now, which is cool. And it's the only game that I've actually like legitimately platinumed. I was so engrossed into it.
Yay!
It wasn't difficult. It was just time consuming. It took 67 hours.
Damn.
But I enjoyed.
Damn.
I enjoyed so much. I enjoyed it so much.
That's
And
what.
I didn't-
Yeah, that's Witcher 3 territory hours wise.
Yeah, I didn't even do like a ton of the side quests either. Like there's a lot of side quests I still have to do. I was just focusing on the trophies.
Damn.
And they're adding like weekly content. I think they stopped it now. But basically you can like fight the Egyptian gods and you get like exclusive armor and weapons.
Sky Dragon?
Yu-Gi-Oh?
If only.
So
If only we were that lucky.
So it's like
Yeah,
a
if you
way
could-
for them to like bring you back into the game. And I got this season pass for Christmas. So I think the first DLC, I read online that it's supposed to drop in January 2018, but they haven't announced anything. So I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not.
You can download it now.
We shall see.
Yeah, we shall see.
But yeah, amazing game.
Gridlife Digest exclusive.
Yeah, we got that inside Ubisoft
Inside scoop.
scoop.
Yeah, we got the review copies from them. So I guess you could take everything I say with a grain of salt.
That's right.
And I did write a review on our website, so you can check that out. But
Good.
I just love this game so much. Definitely gets amazing game in a year where open world games were like coming from like all angles, and
Yeah.
this just got
Just getting
drowned. Yeah, this just got
smattered by-
drowned in
Yeah.
the conversation of bigger games.
Yeah.
Sweet.
No, man, like I said before, just came totally out of left field. If you haven't played it, or if you haven't played an Assassin's Creed in a while, give it a chance. Micah, what's your game of the year 2017?
So my game of the year 2017, it's not as colorful as the other games I was ranting and raving about.
Still
It is,
Japanese.
it's still Japanese, super hella Japanese. It is Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. So it's one of the spooky games like we were talking about earlier. Like
Does it have valves
like
in it?
I think it might have a valve or two in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's got to be at least one or two valves in there. But the best way I can describe this game, it's pretty much like Outlast, but with guns. You know, like you get the option. You could go and hide from this enemy, or you could just blast them away if you have the ammo for it. And Capcom, it's such a return to form. Because before this, it was the shit show of Resident Evil 6. Like, oh, here's fucking Michael Bay garbage on the screen. Explosion, explosion, explosion. You know, we're trying to make that Call of Duty money. And then this
They
one, they
did.
just kind of chilled out a bit. Like, fucking people realize that people don't want it for the action. They want it for the spooks. They want to be super scared and wet their pants. Which I did not do, but I got pretty close to that. And
You
like
did?
I envy you, Eli, for you played it in VR.
I did not get that luxury. I even then though, I was still scared. Like I had my sound bar and then my subwoofer, and I turned that shit all the way up because like I wanted that to be impactful. You know, one of these enemies are called like molded or whatever the hell they're called. They just jump out like, oh man, they're so fucking scary, and they just look hella weird. And
It's scary with headphones, like when you have like the surround sound headphones or whatever.
oh yeah, I bet. Because it's the 3D sound. Oh, it's in the back of you. Oh, it's on the front of you. It's on the side of you. But that game, it has the clunky controls. Like it takes for fucking ever to turn around. You know, like oh my god, am I gonna escape this guy? Like am I gonna turn around in time to shoot this guy in the head? And they did such a great job with it. I mean, Resident Evil is one of my favorite series. Like going back to Resident Evil 4. Like that game is such a classic game. Like I remember there for a while I was talking about like if like my first like born son, like I name him Leon Kennedy, or like at least the first name Leon, just because he's such a badass character.
Leon Kennedy would be a little too on the nose.
Yeah, just at least Leon. But like just his hair, I'm like, fuck, I wish I had that hair, but my hair's too thick. You know, he has super thin hair and it's like waving right in front of him. And like I
wanted,
yeah, I want another game of Leon. Maybe do first person, you could see his hair like waving.
These hair physics are so realistic.
Yeah, that's what I want.
That's like the new fish technology or whatever from COD Ghost.
Yeah.
But you have to brush it out of your face like every 30 seconds.
Yeah, you gotta move the move controller in front of your head, just move it out of the way.
Yeah,
that's like it gets all sweaty and nasty and hanging in front of you. Like
that's
fucking drape.
That's how they get the jump scares. It's like, all right, his hair gets in the way, and then like they move it. Oh, jump scare! Like it writes itself. And while you do that, you could really like enhance the immersion by getting one of those 4D candles that we love so much.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It smells like blood.
That's like how you get the ultimate experience. Yeah. Like you put the VR on, you get the headphones on, get the candle.
You grow your hair out in front of your face.
Yeah, super long.
Or you just buy a wig.
No, that's not immersive enough.
Not enough. It gets super itchy. It doesn't feel like it's a part of you. It's not really you. But yep, Resident Evil 7. It's amazing. I hope Capcom keeps on making these survival horror games. Like I've been like riding that survival horror like hype train ever since I played that game. Like I've been working on The Evil Within, which is made by or the creative director behind it did Resident Evil 4, so it feels very Resident Evil 4-ish. So I'm getting that fixed out of that game. But as soon as I finish it, I'm gonna go and start Evil Within 2. So I'm super excited for all those games. I don't know, just horror games are some of my favorite ever, and just love getting scared.
Did you have the luxury of playing PT?
I did not. I'm so sad about that.
Oh my god!
I did not own a PS4.
You fake Kojima fanboy.
I'm not a fake Kojima fanboy. Okay, I didn't have money to buy a PS4. Okay, like I had to go and work for my dad and work on some roofs to go and pay for that shit. Okay,
and now you got a dope ass TV. So who's talking now?
Exactly. But that's how I bought all my video game consoles. Is actually from roofing. Even my TV, like that's where all the money came from. Without that job, I wouldn't be into gaming right now. There's no way.
You know who used to be a roofer?
Who used
Jake
to be a
and
roofer?
Logan Paul's dad.
Oh my god! You just you couldn't just wait 1 week.
Jesus.
Oh my god!
Is this true?
We're canceled.
This is true.
Show's over. I'm done.
Edit this out.
Yeah. No, I'm not editing this out. I'm not. But God,
it's funny. I think everyone like they always know someone who is a roofer or they did roofing themselves. Like today, I was in Target, and this dude he said, "Oh, I like your glasses," and then we were like talking, and I was telling him how I'm into roofing, and then my my dad started this business and all that, and he's like, oh, I've put on a couple of roofs, and he's like, this guy's like 22.
You
I'm like, oh my
have?
god, another one of these people. Like,
Built a couple houses, you know.
yeah, exactly. There's so many of those people out there. Like, no, you're not a roofer. You just put on a roof like badly, and it probably leaks. Like, if I go and checked it, you probably didn't do a good job. You got the nails in the wrong spot. That's just blown off.
Roasted.
Yeah, I could tear it apart. But anyways, enough about my job. we're talking about video games.
The horror of roofing. It's relevant.
Yeah. But one point or another, like, we need to talk about, or I want to talk about making a roofing video game, just because that hasn't been done
Roofing
before.
simulator.
Yeah, I think
VR.
The overcooked idea was probably my favorite.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have the co-op element. You're making crazy roofs in space and in lava and all kinds of stuff. You can do it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm just way too into that job now. I have to mention it every time.
Yeah. It's like roofing is life.
Yeah.
Life is roofing.
But it is.
Anyway.
I mean, I make the shit that fucking protects you. So everyone's appreciating that. We're all under a roof right now.
I'm in a closet roof.
Just throw a roof over that.
Yeah. Throw a roof over it. It's the I can't even speak. My number it's getting late, but there has not been I haven't seen a single Game of the Year podcast this year that has been like 4 hours long, so we're doing good. So my number one spot goes to a game that just provided consistent joy almost the entire way through. I didn't have any issues with it. It just felt perfect. The Super Mario Odyssey. It was a just frictionless experience. Like, it was just the right amount of difficult. It lasted, like, the main story lasted just long enough. It was just constantly engaging, constantly just delightful. Like, delightful is probably the single word I would use to describe it. I had a big dumb smile on my face for way too long playing it. It stuck with me afterward. I love the worlds. I love the level design. I love the mechanics. I love the different creative ways they use the capture mechanic. Like, it's delightful. And it made me realize why I love 3D Mario games. Because like we said, we haven't seen one really since Galaxy and Galaxy 2, and that's been forever ago now. I hope we get like a Odyssey 2 like we did with Galaxy, just to continue this amazing gameplay, and see whether or not Peach is going to get back with Mario and the whole drama at the end there, the suspense. But yeah, just the one more moon hit, like, just, it's so gratifying. And I didn't expect to fall in love with it like I did. Like, I expected it to be good. I expected to enjoy it, but I didn't expect to just be completely enamored by it like I was. Like, I don't even have that many moons. Like, I haven't done any of the crazy challenges. It just felt right. And this is a game I'm going to be playing for probably a couple of years to come. So, Super Mario Odyssey for me.
Dope. Good choice.
Did we do it?
That's it.
Holy shit.
We did. We
did. All right.
Guys.
So,
sigh of relief.
Yeah, just breathe. Just breathe.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of breeze through this next section because I know it's late. I just want to talk about, what goals do you guys have for this show and this year? One of mine was going to be have less technical hiccups, but that's impossible, as evident by this episode alone. So I apologize for the quality. I'll do my best to make amends. But yeah, just like, is there anything you want? Like, is there any? Excuse me. Is there any kind of content you want to make? Is there a video you really want to make? Is there a new segment you want to add to the podcast? Like, do you want to do another, like, separate podcast? Like, what kind of realistic ambitions do you have? So we'll just go down. So Micah, do you have anything you want to accomplish in 2018?
Yeah. So what I want to do is have at least one video out per week, like we were talking about earlier. Like, put one video out every Monday. So like, I just finished up this video yesterday. It goes in line with your video, Noah. the Gridlife Plus, except this is Gridlife Gold for games with gold. So yeah, I want to continue that trend. So it doesn't really matter what the video is on. It's just kind of just to put out a video and something that I worked on, or you worked on, or any of us, or if any of us like combine together to create something. And then like I just came up with this idea a little while ago of comparing Xbox Game Pass with PS Now. And I know it's kind of a weird comparison, but like in my head, it was super cool because like I've been going through and like I created the spreadsheet. So it's I'm comparing the prices between the two services, and I'm also comparing like how long it takes to play each game. And at the end, I just want to have all these like kind of like statistics put together because like everyone likes numbers, you know. Like people like top 5 videos. Everyone likes it to be things to be compared. So
8 reasons why The Last Jedi is the best movie.
Exactly, like that. But
9 reasons why you're wrong about your opinion, no matter what you are about The Last Jedi.
Not that generic. I'm putting my own twist on it.
Yeah,
and we'll see how that goes. I just kind of want to put out a video like that, like something new. Like I've been even thinking about like doing some sort of skits, even like maybe get together some of my friends, or maybe we do it together somehow over the power of the internet.
The power of the internet.
That is copyrighted.
Exactly. But anyways, like we had some stupid fucking conversation on Christmas Day about like these 12-year-old kids who were like dealing drugs, but they weren't really drugs. It was like Advil, like and shit like that.
I forgot about that.
That was the funniest fucking thing ever. Like we were just
oh my
spitballing
God.
characters.
I forgot about that. That was like one of the, that made my day. Oh my God.
Oh man, that was so amazing. And like in my head, I imagine this kid like dealing out like Tylenol PM. For some reason, like he makes a makeshift glove out of like condoms. So there's like a condom on his finger, and he's just handing out like the little blue pills. Like here you go, and then he like licks his glove. Like in my head, it's fucking hilarious.
I totally forgot about this, and it's the best thing ever. Like I'm totally right with you on this. Like I imagine it, like it's amazing. Like just this fucking kid, like just kind of pudgy with his fucking condom glove.
Yeah, in my head, it's super doable.
It's so funny.
I could get together some friends and just do it, and like even if it is super fucking weird, like it's funny as fuck. Like, and I hope you guys think the same thing.
Like it would be hysterical to turn some of our conversations into skits.
That's what I'm saying.
Because they're just genuinely hysterical. Like. You know,
like when we were streaming the what was it, Panda?
Kung Fu Panda Showdown of Legendary
Panda.
Legends.
Yeah,
game of the year 2018, whatever.
Exactly. Well, like I came up with something stupid about like this kid who wants his dad to bring up his fucking like a big old CRT TV into his treehouse. And like his dad has like a fucking big old beer belly. He has like a beer in one hand, and he has the CRT on his shoulder, and he's climbing up. Like in my head, that's fucking hilarious.
His belt's like already undone because he's gonna fucking beat his kid.
He has a wife beater on, and he's like, "Oh, I fucking hate my kid. He's a deadbeat son. Why can't he do anything better?"
I feel like we're like comedically, like we're very in tune because I'm totally down.
We think the same things are funny. And, like I feel like kind of this has been an outlet for me. Like, kind of makes me realize like, oh, I'm kind of funny. You know what I'm saying? Like I can make people laugh. Like I say weird shit a lot of the times, kind of unintentionally. Like I saw you guys just put on Twitter, like you quoted me. It said super hella Japanese or whatever. Yeah.
Translate from like the thing that makes that tweet good is it says translate from Estonian on the bottom. Like I love.
But yeah, I like to think that I'm funny, and I hope you guys think I'm funny too.
You make me laugh like a lot. Like it's ridiculous. Okay. Yeah.
So that makes me happy to hear, because I mean I never really tried to be funny. It's just like my weird quirky personality, just hanging out with my friends from high school.
Things just happen.
Just that fucked up like sense of humor, and
Yeah, the
it's-
40 candles and the SpongeBob
Yeah.
porn or whatever.
Just it's the whole Nickelodeon
I'll never
porn
forget.
universe. Like there's
Yeah.
there's Danny Phantom.
Yeah.
You got there's so many layers to it.
I just brought that shit up, and then you guys just kind of built on top of it and made it even better.
Yeah.
So I just love that we have that kind of synergy, and like we need to keep that going. Like, I love it
Synergy.
so much. Yep.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yep. Goals for 2018: make more videos, may do some more streams. For me, I like to get better at speaking. I feel like I've made some headway. I need to get there better. Like I feel like I not so good at explaining things, especially video games. For me, it's kind of hard to talk about them, even though I do talk about them a lot.
It's really fun. You say it's really fun a lot.
Exactly.
I've
That's
noticed.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like I need better words than that. I'm like, fuck, I should be fucking.
It's
talking
hard.
about video games.
This is why
Yeah.
people get paid for it. Like it's hard.
Mm-hmm. It is very hard. I'm like, fuck, I can't hang. Like, guys are better at this than me. I mean, I'm not trying to self-deprecate myself, but
No, I'm pretty bad too sometimes. Like,
but yeah,
You got those
I
hot
need to-
takes.
yeah, all those hot takes. But I just need to kind of widen my vocabulary and work on that. And like making different videos may help me with my speaking level. And like I guess I like to talk more about non-video game things.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not as into video games as I used to be. And it was just kind of part of growing up. And like even right now, like I can talk about other things. So I guess I want to kind of more incorporate like the culture part of things, or just more of like just bullshit, like just random shit that's going on
Yeah.
in your life, other than video games. Maybe like kind of spread that out to its own podcast, but I don't know, that might maybe be too much.
Yeah, that's why I put the gaming as secondary, because like that'll always be there, but it's never gonna be like the primary focus. Like culture encompasses like
Exactly,
just
like
the human
everything.
existence. Like that's what that means. So yeah, that's like I don't think we would need a new podcast for it, because like
No.
the format, the cement or the foundation's already there.
Yeah.
But
But if we had a drinking game where you'd like drink every time I said that was a great fucking time, like you'd be fucking wasted
yeah,
by
you'd be
now.
your liver
that's
would
a
be
lot of
dead.
fun.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna work on that. Like that's my number one goal, is to widen my vocabulary. Maybe go back to college so that'll help with it too.
I feel
Just kinda
like
work on it.
Yeah, I feel like if we did one where like I just like flub my speech or say like a sentence that doesn't make sense, but it like I try to make it make sense, like I'm doing right now.
Kind of just save it in the end.
Yeah, then
Okay,
then you'd also
okay.
be pretty hammered, because like I have like this really eloquent thought and then it just never comes out.
Oh, see, like
Yeah.
I guess we're not all perfect.
Yeah, no,
at this,
not
is what
at
we're
all,
saying.
not at all.
None of us claim to be, and we're getting there. I'm sure even Greg Miller, when he first started out, like he wasn't the best at it.
That blue-haired
But now
motherfucker.
Yeah, but now he's fucking great at it just because he kept at it.
Yep, interviewing
I
the
guess the
Uncharted cast.
Yeah, like the main thing is not to give up. Just fucking follow your dreams. Don't let anyone tell you that you suck at it. Like, yeah, I may suck at it, but like tomorrow I'm gonna suck less. The day after that I'm gonna suck even less. And at the end, like you'll be, oh, I don't suck anymore. I'm pretty good. And like my best friend Nico, he like on our second episode, I remember him like fucking criticizing the shit out of it. And like, oh man, I was just so like heartbroken. I was like, fuck, like, we
Episode
put
2?
our heart and episode 2.
Yeah, we need to get it. Yeah, we still weren't in the swing of things yet. I still don't think we are. We still have a long ways to go.
No.
But I feel like we've come a long ways too.
We definitely have. Like, for me, like the beginning, I'd be like sitting there like sweating. I'm like, fuck, I don't know if I can do this. Like, this is way harder than I thought it would be.
It's like it's like the Viggo Mortensen gif where he's just like the profuse like fucking waterfall sweat. Yeah,
exactly. But it's just that pressure of like, I'm being recorded right now. Anything I say is permanent. Anyone can listen to it.
the internet
And
is totality. Yeah.
exactly. Like to me, that thought was like scary, and I just get like locked up.
And then you
Like,
you decided to share about chiropractor tables, and then that was just
Yeah.
all out the window. So yeah,
See, like for
Yeah,
me,
you already shared like the most intimate stuff, so now
Yeah.
it's just
It's
smooth sailing.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what it is for me. Like, I need to say the worst shit possible, and then anything underneath that isn't that bad.
yeah.
If
Just
that
get
makes any sense.
just
Like,
get it out.
I have to get out the shit off my chest that I wouldn't tell my mom. Like if my mom heard that, fuck, I don't know what I do. But she
Hi,
doesn't
Mom.
know how to use the internet very well. So
That's good.
hopefully she'll never hear it. But if she does, now well, I'm an adult. I'm not at home. What's she gonna do about it? Take my fucking PlayStation away?
Yeah,
That's
probably.
not working. But anyways, that was kind of me just pouring out my heart.
That was
I love
good.
you guys.
Oh.
I hope we keep on doing this for a long time. Like, to me, this is kind of changed my life almost. Like I have something to work for, something I'm passionate about, and you're passionate about. We can work on it together and grow as human beings, and just all that gibberish. So,
As a human being, as Tommy would say.
As human beings.
Yep.
You're a person,
anyways.
a human being.
Anyways, someone else can go.
How about you, Eli? Do you got any grand plans for 2018?
So besides getting more like guests on, which I feel like we could definitely do, I'm sure there's a lot of people who just love to talk, and that's what podcasts are all about.
Absolutely.
So hopefully we'll get some cool guests. I mean, we've already got like really cool guests in the past and lined up in the future. So more of that, but also I want to have so kind of like what Micah said with the videos. I want to do more produced Let's Plays.
Okay.
Damn.
It might be a little difficult, but we can totally just test out a bunch of different stuff until we figure out what sticks,
Yeah, absolutely. That's not like Let's Plays. That is a lot of work. There's so much that goes into those, but it's something I'd love to see. Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, I already kind of was tinkering. I downloaded our Injustice stream.
Yeah.
And was putting it up to kind of a digestible video, and it takes a while. Yeah.
That's a word right there, digestible. I want to actually live up to our name.
We should.
Because that's going to be a way that we actually grow. Because not a lot of people can sit through this is we're at 3 hours right now. Not a lot of people can sit through that, which is understandable. But this I don't know. I like doing long form content, but it's not time friendly for a lot of people. Yeah, no, definitely. I had this kind of really far flung idea. I kind of want to do something similar to The Point that Danny O'Dwyer used to do at GameSpot. Just the kind of melding the video essay with live action shots. And just
sick.
really well edited music and cuts and first hand interviews, just something really well made, but that's gonna be a far goal for sure, especially if we get into Let's Play stuff. But that's a goal I have. I want to write an article at least every week, and then put it on the site, and then I want to make at least one or two of them as video essays, just something so I can get better with editing and writing and speaking in a microphone, because doing VO is really hard. I've learned doing the VO for the reviews really hard. Doing the VO for the PS Plus video was really hard, even though that actually came pretty more naturally to me for some reason. I think it's just because I wrote it out as more of a conversational thing. But yeah, I want to just kind of sharpen the craft of production, if that makes sense.
Definitely.
But how about you, Matt? You want to do anything crazy? The big.
I just want to continue getting better at talking into the microphone, to just better put my thoughts into words better, because earlier when we were talking about or when I was talking about Battlefront 2, I couldn't find the right words
I feel like you nailed it.
For.
I feel like you nailed
think
that part.
so?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just love Battlefront 2.
I mean, I'm gonna buy it now, so
You got a soul.
All right. Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I just want to get better at that, and I think it would be cool to host like one episode of the show.
Just say when.
All right, yeah, because like I don't know, I think it would be interesting because it, definitely I don't think it's like an easy thing to do necessarily, especially for me.
I'm terrible at it still, so
that
yeah,
it would be like an interesting little challenge, I guess, and I'd be able to see kind of like what it's like. So, at some point during the year, maybe I'll see if I could do that, and then other than that, continue to grow. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, Emma.
Matt, I was just gonna say, Matt, you and I should like do a video on like platinums, like some sort of platinum thing, like a Matt.
I'm down.
Do a love letter on platinum trophies.
Yeah, just something like that, because I feel like you and I have kind of that shared passion. Like, I mean, I used to be super into platinum in games. I mean, not so much anymore. And like, I just find that like concept of you being on Xbox, and then like, you weren't that into achievements, and then you're like, but platinums. When I get a PS4, I'm gonna be hella into platinums. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah,
but
I mean the story is kind of interesting, I guess.
It is. It's very interesting to me. Like, if he didn't like achievements, why would he like platinums? Like, it just didn't make sense to me. And like, now you're platinuming every damn game you play. So I just kind of want to talk to you about that. I mean, like a one-on-one, if you will, or just something fun like that.
I'm down.
Yeah, let's do it.
Sounds good. Just say when.
Well, yep. I'll say when, and we'll do it.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that because my brief attempt at a platinum was not positive.
See, that I feel so bad for you because that really like just ruins it.
I put the work in. I did it. I did it in my heart.
I get so much like joy. I get so much joy from platinuming games. Like when I hear stories like that, it just breaks my heart.
Oh.
I'm so sorry that happened to you and Max with Horizon. It's horrible.
Those fucking frogs, man, are gonna haunt my dreams forever. I shot every single one of those motherfuckers, even the ones that were like impossible to get.
Chemicals in the water that's making the frogs gay.
Those frogs aren't just gay; like they're out for blood. That's all I'm saying.
Definitely.
I would say, Emma, is there anything you want to tackle this year?
Yeah, I think that you guys, hit the big ones. I'm excited to start working on the Gridlife Gold Xbox Live games for Gold thing with Micah. Yeah, I think that we're starting to get a lot better at both, I think, actually podcasting and also getting more content out there. And I do agree with, like, everything you say about making more digestible content, because in the end, like, that is how we'll grow and how we'll get bigger. And yeah, like, personal goals for myself, like, also you guys kind of touched on, like, just speaking better. Like, there's always so much going on in my head, and I can never put it into words, like you guys said.
It's so hard.
Right, like, I'll have this thought and I'll just be like, why do I think this? Or it's just like with games and stuff, like, I never really, until we really started doing this, I never really thought about, like, why do I like this and why do I not like this? So doing that, I'm getting better, but I obviously want to get more better. And I also want to get better at, like, writing things. I feel like once I actually start writing things, like, on paper, it's like sounds better. Like, I've always been a pretty good writer, so I would love to, like, write more. It's just so hard with, like, school, because, like, my degree is so demanding that I don't have a lot of time to do a ton of stuff that I would love to do. But I'm really looking forward to like pushing myself this year, both personally and for what we have going here. So it's been crazy what we've already accomplished. And we started this in what, like June? July. Yeah,
Dang.
like it's not.
Yeah, how'd that happen? Holy shit.
Right.
20th episode.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot. That's a milestone there.
Right. Like
The big 20.
That's why it's 3.5 hours long.
it's awesome because we were, we all met through kind of funny community, and like I've known Micah for years, and like you guys, I met like however many months ago, and we're all like super great friends, and it all started where we were just talking about it. We're like, yeah, that'd be something that'd be kind of cool to do.
We should quit our
And
jobs.
We just fucking did it.
Or we could not quit our jobs and just do the podcast part.
Yeah, we just
I'm down.
we totally just went out and we were like, let's just fucking do it. And we did it, and like we're getting there, and it's great just to see how much we have grown since that very first episode. I mean, and I'm excited for this year. I think it'll be a good one.
Hell yeah.
It will be.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
That's a part of me doesn't want to do like the quote unquote remaster of the old MP3s either, because like I just kind of like want to have them as time capsules. But I
think that's a good idea.
It's gonna just kind of leave them be, or
Yeah, it's kind of that's it. That is what it is.
That is
It's going to be a time point. It's marking this point in time for where we were at the time as we were podcasting.
Yeah.
You can kind of see that progress. Whereas if you go and replace it, you don't see that progression.
Exactly. Yeah.
much.
I'll just leave them. All right, Dad, take us home.
I want to write more reviews. The Assassin's Creed one was really fun to write, and it's actually good for me since I'm out of school. I don't write ever anymore.
Yeah.
Like I don't do any essays or anything. So it was actually nice to be able to write something that I actually like found, love for, instead of just like, here's a random topic about some book that I didn't really care about,
Yeah.
So it was fun doing that. And there's so many good games coming out this year
We're gonna be busy
that
on
I have
reviews.
like
Oh yeah.
high hopes for that. Yeah, so there's like a lot of content in that regard, and also quality of life stuff in terms of our YouTube. Like, I think we should seriously, I don't know, like, since you're the one recording and stuff,
Yeah.
but timestamps for everything,
We're not
like
just
every episode.
Yeah, no, we're gonna do timestamps, and then we're also gonna break them out topic by topic, because not for probably this one, not because it's not 4 topics or 5 topics or whatever, but going forward, probably next week we're gonna have separate individual pieces for all the topics, and then time codes for each for on the main episode. Yeah, because it's
Yeah,
just-
and I don't know, like maybe I could help you out with that.
that'd be great because I'm
it's just-
forgetful as fuck. So
Yeah, and it's just like hard for me since you're the one recording, so you actually like see,
Mhm.
what the time is,
You
but
just
we
gotta-
could try to figure something out.
yeah, just like put like a stopwatch on like right when I hit start record or whatever.
Yeah.
Definitely, because it's really daunting to just jump into a 2.5 hour long podcast with no prior knowledge.
Yeah, and then maybe like something on the website too.
Mhm.
Like I asked my friend, and she said maybe you should put pictures of your faces so like people know who you are. Since like we're doing the webcam, right? Just so like we know like when to talk, but like nobody knows, our faces. You know?
You have to like go to Twitter or whatever.
So it'd be like more personal and relatable.
Yeah. If Kind of Funny prom ends up happening, we all go. I want us to go get pictures taken.
Definitely.
1 for merch, 2 just to have a bunch of pictures with us together so that we can use for stuff like the site and everything. I think that would be
You
great.
want merch with like
That's a
Us on it?
fantastic idea.
No. For our store, so we can have pictures of us in our stuff.
Oh, okay, I got
Yeah,
you.
yeah. So we just gotta like order a bunch of shirts and do that. So that's something I really want to do. I want to try to make this prom thing work, even if for whatever reason we don't actually end up going to prom, just like having actually like meeting up in person at least once this year would be awesome. Yeah.
It's a big old happy family.
Big old fucking
Gridlife
porta potty on fire, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Always on fire.
Honey bucket.
Oh
Honey
god.
bucket on fire.
Why does that sound so much worse for some reason? I don't know.
Now I want to take one of our stickers and go and slap it on a porta potty.
We can make that happen. They're really cheap. By the way, go buy a sticker.
Yeah, they are really cheap.
Designedbyhumans.com/gridlife digest right now. Get a sticker. Get a hoodie.
Like all of us need to like pile into one. Like and go inside of a porta potty.
No, that's a terrible idea. That's a terrible
That bitch
idea.
would tip.
That'd be super funny.
Yeah, then it would.
Oh, yeah,
it would
that'd be
really. It would be us personified. Just the tipped over porta potty. Just shit.
Yeah, it would be
steaming
great.
out.
I mean, in your head it sounds nasty,
No,
which it is. But
there's
it's
no way this
funny.
isn't nasty. There's like I'm not. Oh, God, we aren't Jackass. Like I can't.
Well, we're not gonna like tip it over or anything. We're just gonna like get inside it and then like come out of it.
Why can't we just stay? Why can't we just stand in front of it?
Okay, that can work too.
Yeah,
I'll
see?
stand in front of it.
You're more
So I'll
ambitious.
light it on fire.
You're more ambitious than I am, but I'm not. I'm not down to get covered in shit, whatsoever. Any final?
So I have one final thing.
Go for it.
I want to make us more of like an entity, like Gridlife Digest, more of like a just recognizable in some sort of way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just like to help us out down the line, like getting review codes or like getting guests or just any sort of like positive, like
Just
I don't know what the word is.
Just recognition.
Yeah, recognition and just like being more of a just entity. I guess that's all I can think of.
Yeah, like growth. General
Yeah.
growth.
Yeah.
Like a name, recognition, like a name that, Gridlife Digest. Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I know what that logo is.
Or like, yeah.
I eventually want
We're
to
gonna get there.
pay Alex Van Aken like $500 to redo all of our graphics so we can look super legit, but not yet. That's actually another thing I forgot I was going to bring up. I want to up our social media game this year. I want to like be like the Wendy's of podcast
Yes.
social medias. Especially on Instagram, since like I'll take. Oh man, that I don't think we can get that high, but
No,
I just especially with like the Instagram because like we have it, but we don't really use it that much. I want to have like each platform be like really distinct. Like Twitter is more like for like actual information, and then have Instagram be kind of just like the messing around fun stuff. I just really want to up that. And we don't have to like post that much more, but just like kind of like be really deliberate with what we post and kind of have fun with it, and just kind of mess around. So yeah,
let's do it.
Growth. Let's do it. In that case, it is time for I Recommend, where one of us recommends to the group something for the others to check out. It can be anything, and last time I recommended to us Star Wars The Last Jedi. We all know how that turned out. We had a lot to say about it, so we're not going to talk about it here. I instead going to point you to our full spoiler cast. We go deep dive into what we think, positive and negative, speculation, the whole 9 yards. It is available for your listening pleasure. This week, I'm starting off 2018 with a really strong recommendation, a film that graces nearly every worst movie ever made list, written, directed, and produced by a gentleman by the name of Amir Shervin. 1989's Samurai Cop is my recommendation.
What the hell is that?
This is a pure morbid curiosity attempt, and it is streaming on Amazon Prime Video, so luckily we don't have to spend a cent on this piece of garbage.
Sweet.
It looks absolutely incredible in the worst way possible, and I can't wait for us all to see it and discuss it next week. We're most likely going to have a guest next week. I don't want to say who it is just in case it doesn't happen, but this has been episode 20 of Gridlife Digest. Thank you so much for listening. You can head over to gridlifedigest.com to see everything we post and subskitter. That's my okay. Take a shot every time I mess up. Consider and subscribing. That your liver will hate you. Consider subscribing on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, so you never miss a topic, so you never miss one of my horrible flubs. We'll be back next Wednesday with another conversation. Thank you so much. The entire team here. We don't really do this ever just because look at the time. Look at the time. That's why.
Great.
Thank you, everyone.
It's a goddamn great time.
It was a time, certainly. Looking forward to the year.
Me too.
The Big 20.
Big 20. Get that volume 2.
2018.
Expect it soonish.
Soon.
See you next week.